found TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. In just a few minutes, we'll be right with you with another award-winning, action-packed edition of your Tony Basilio Show. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio Show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always
listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Did a deal the other day, tips for callers. I said tips are always appreciated. Being on myself, did a segment. And we did tips for callers. The great Matt Dixon, there's a tip for you. Check out his work over at tclub.team today. All right, TGMD, we got John Adams in here, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. She's an absolute next level-y. A lover. I was talking to the great Russell Smith, who holds it down in the afternoon here. And we were kind of comparing notes. You know, I come into this postseason with not a lot of expectation for this baseball team, but a sense of appreciation. I have a sense of appreciation for this baseball team, and that's where I'm at. I don't know what they're going to do in this tournament. I don't know how you navigate the tournament when you have their pitching. I don't pretend to know that. But here we are. Pretty fired up, pretty focused, and pretty prepared. And I've got my shirt on from the Musicians Hall of Fame in beautiful Nashville, which is a great spot. I'd encourage you to check it out. Darn it, John! I had the wrong mic up.
Yeah. Okay. First, I come over here and I can't even get in the building.
I said, "Hey, my."
And now, how many times have I told you about turning up the sound?
Gonna never die. Do you like that song? Neil Young. Are you a Neil Young guy?
I like some of his work.
You like that tune?
No.
Once you're going.
No, I don't like that tune.
You can't come
I also
back.
didn't like being shut out of the house either.
We might get shut out today for the way this thing's going. Listen, I I think that this is a really nice. I want to park here for a segunda, go around the room. I think, all in all, you got to take each season sort of in its own bubble. Tony leaves in October. I don't even know what would that be like, John? You lose a football coach in like May or something.
I think after spring practice, your coach says, "Adios, I'm out of here, man."
And not only am I out, but I'm taking both my coordinators. I'm taking my strength coach. You guys are on your own.
Best of luck to you.
And I'm taking my guy that does all my sort of analytical stuff as well.
Love
Ross,
you guys.
or whatever. What was that guy's name, Matt? Who's the one that's always unspoken about? Is Matt Dixon's in the house with us?
Sean McCann.
Yeah, Sean McCann, who was like his Yoda.
Yeah, kind of cleaned house. And I don't blame him for taking him. They helped him win big here, so that's the natural move.
Sure.
I'm sure they all got pay raises. They won't win as many games. I know that with San Francisco Giants.
No.
But
they might win more games. They're just going to lose 3 times as many. As
yeah,
they had previously.
That's a pretty good point, Matt.
Yeah. It's those losses.
Hope they win more than 40 over there or 50.
I mean, that's got to. I always thought about that with Urban Meyer when he went to.
And you were right.
Went to the NFL. That you just can't win enough in that league for somebody like him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can win enough in MLB for somebody like Tony. He's not used to losing all those games.
I remember you saying that Urban Meyer was never going to make it because he couldn't lose.
Yeah, he just can't tolerate it. And that's one reason he won so much. Yeah. He was so driven to win, but I don't mean to stray off target
but
here.
You were right. No, you nailed that.
Well, I do like hearing those words.
You were right on the money. You said it at the time. You said there's no way this guy makes it Major League Baseball.
I didn't say that in Major League Baseball.
In the NFL, he's going to hate every minute of it.
Yeah.
Especially there with those losers in Jacksonville, which is a great way to put it. You said Frank Frangie and all those losers like Brian Hartman and loser Jackson. Duval. What a bunch of losers. So here we are. I think it'd be appropriate, guys, to go around the room and say what we expect from this postseason. So why don't we do that? We've seen the draw. The draw is Tennessee and East Carolina. And Matt's got some good stuff. I drew up some. I actually did a little work myself and pulled up some interesting stuff on just the history of this team that Tennessee's playing. I got to thinking about what Matt said because Matt compared them to Xavier up in Cincinnati, and Tennessee has of the top 8 seeds, the average RPI in Tennessee's regional, John, is 39.25. The 4 above them, the Auburn regional, which is the 4th ranked region, average RPI 82. The Georgia regional, average RPI 68. Georgia Tech's regional, average RPI 73. UCLA regional, average RPI is 64. And the Vols average RIP.
RPI, you mean?
No, I call it RIP.
Oh.
But Laura changed it to I wanted it to say RIP, but then she has RIP below.
Yeah.
But okay. Tennessee's RIP is 39.25. I mean, that's not even close how much harder Tennessee's region is than everybody else's.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Tennessee, Tennessee, if would have won more, it probably would have had an easier regional.
That's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got no
can't complain about it.
No, you got nobody to blame but yourself. Hey, Matt, I couldn't believe, except looking it up, that the Pirates have been there now 35 times in the NCAA tournament. East Carolina has lived in that thing, Matt. Lived in it.
Yeah, they've been a host and regional host a bunch. I think they've only hosted a Super one time. Ironically, I think it was 2001, and Tennessee went down there and beat them. won 2 games and went to Omaha with that Chris Burke team. Although Stevie Daniel led them that weekend, not Berkey.
The great Stevie Daniel.
They're a perennial, tournament team. They've been on the bubble the last couple of years, but I think they won their league tournament, which is, there's something to be said for that. But no, they're almost always in the field, and they're going to have a solid pitching staff, and they go as far as their hitting takes them. But they put some pitchers in the big leagues the last couple of years. But no, it's a really, really good mid-major program for college baseball. Really, in all honesty, it's probably not a mid-major program in the sense that we look at it from like basketball or football, because I think East Carolina invests the resources in that sport to be a kind of a power program, kind of like Coastal Carolina, I think, is as well. But it's, they're just a really solid team that you kind of know what you're getting with Cliff Godwin. It's pitching first, and if the hitting comes along, then they can be dangerous.
And John, if you've ever seen them in a regional over there, they have a really cool, really great home stadium. It's a neat place. Loves baseball.
The jungle.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, whom did East Carolina play last year in the tournament? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Okay. I just remember
watching it, though.
I remember watching one of their games, and it was they're very.
Well, remember, Evansville beat them 2 years ago in 24
to get here.
They were paired up with Tennessee
to get here,
and it was Evansville beat them and Wake Forest.
Very formidable. Didn't they beat Wake? Matt, or am I imagining
that?
They beat
that's
Chase
what I
Burns.
was thinking. That's what I was thinking
it
of.
Was
I watched
Saturday.
That game.
It coincided with our Saturday game. They beat Chase Burns, and who was their great pitcher?
Trey Savage, who now pitches for the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Him and Chase Burns faced each other in an elimination game because Evansville upset East Carolina on the Friday. Then they held on. I think it was a Monday finish, and Evansville had just enough pitching to get through and get to Knoxville for that super.
And what that shows me, John, is the level of baseball you're starting to see now in this tournament. You got 2 guys that are now very good pitchers in Major League Baseball, not just pitchers. And look, it's hard enough to make the bigs. I mean, that's a worldwide sport. That's a very difficult thing. You got 2 guys that are excellent pitchers. I mean, Chase Burns having a breakout year. And Yuskevich is a great player. So here's the thing about East Carolina, though, that I ponder. How in the world can you get to the NCAA tournament, John, 35 times? Have Godwin, who's a very good coach. They develop all those pitchers down through the years. They've got that really good home field that Matt was talking about, and yet they've never been to an Elite Eight. They're almost like us in basketball. All those NCAA tournament appearances, all that nibbling at it, all those opportunities, and yet are never able just to put it together and win. What is it, Matt? 4 games gets you through? Or 5 games? I guess it would be 5, right?
5, yeah, potentially 6 if you have to do it from a loser's bracket. But yeah,
that's remarkable to me.
Games.
That's remarkable to me.
But you know what? It's more remarkable that it's won that much, and maybe it's doing all. It's got enough wherewithal to get into the tournament that many times. But that's kind of as far as it can go talent-wise.
Yeah. Here's why I'm appreciating on this season more and more. As you take a historical look back, and Burke texted me last night because Berkey's on the air. Berkey's a big listener to what we do. Great supporter, great friend of the program. But he texted me last night. He's like, glad to see you're back in midseason form, ripping the guys, calling them losers, saying they have no chance. I said, hey, all due respect to you, Burke, Matt Dixon is the one that drug me into that. He wanted me to speak down and try to speak it into existence like we did a couple weeks ago. So I'm going to do my part this week and wear the black hat and say the Vols need to pack light and only bring 1 change of undies. And they'll be 2 and gone. But I don't think that's the case. But anyway. So they've made, John, our opponent on Fridays made 35 appearances. How many times do you think Tennessee's been in the NCAA tournament, John, historically? And I hope I got this number right. I'm trusting Google. Matt can tell me. By the way, John, presented by Jennifer Morris, next move, SmokyMountains.com. She the best. She of Keller Williams, check her out. She would have been in here, I guess it would have been a week ago, Wednesday night for the post-game show, but she said, I'm too busy serving the living listener, Tony. I can't get in here to serve the living listener.
Yeah, basically, she was offended that you would even think she had
didn't
the
like
time
that.
for that. Yeah, she
didn't-
takes her job very seriously, and you're just like, oh yeah, just come on here and host the show in the middle of the night. No.
By the way, that Savage guy throws a splinker.
A splinker.
That splitter sinker thing that these guys throw now.
Well, what's the difference? It's a sinker.
It's a splinker.
Why is it
It's
a
It's
splinker?
a split finger
sinker.
Splinker.
But split finger
just like now there's a
fastballs.
sweeper. Just like right now there's a sweeper. What did we used to call a sweeper, John, for forever and ever? One of my buddies tried to tell me it's a sweeper. I'm like, well, isn't that a slider? No, it's a sweeper. Okay. You just woke up one because the TrackMan had to call it something. That's the backstory on that. So a TrackMan renamed it. It's a sweeper now because the computer said it is.
Well, I can remember when a
sick of computers.
Sinker's fork ball. When I was a kid, the Pittsburgh Pirates were relief ace. Elroy Face once went 18-1 as a relief pitcher.
Throwing the the forker.
The fork ball, yeah. It didn't have much speed on it, but he never got it close to the waist. He kept it down the whole time.
How many NCAA tournaments? They've been to 35. John, take a stab at it. How many we been to? It's gonna make you really appreciate Tony Vitello.
Well, Tony Vitello went to the tournament 7 times, didn't he?
Yep. And we've been there how many times?
You've probably been there about all told, well,
and then they did it in the 50s, right? Because they went to the championship game.
I'd say Tennessee's probably been there about 20 times.
They've been there, according to my information, Matt, is this correct? 16 times.
Yeah, I believe this will be 16. And if you're going to go further, it's really remarkable how Tennessee's taken advantage because they've been in the tournament 16 times. They've won a regional like 7 or 8 times, and then they've gone to Omaha like 6 times. Like the only time they've ever lost a super regional was to Notre Dame. So whenever they get in the field and win, they really take full advantage of it. It's the opposite of what Tennessee basketball's been.
Hello.
It's the opposite of what East Carolina is. And that's what Delmonico did. I mean, Delmonico wouldn't even make Hoover for 3 years and then would go to Omaha. Like Tennessee's been a postseason program in college baseball.
Let's unpack it, Matt, because I want to make a point here. And I want the living listener to call in today and share with us this season what – to me, I call this house money. Look, LSU's out. Vanderbilt is out. Louisville is out. There are several teams that made the College World Series last year that are either on the road, barely qualified. A bunch of them are 2 seeds. I mean, Tennessee has nothing to be ashamed of after what happened in October and all the pitching that just went south on them. I mean, this pitching coach we have, no offense to him, if he were a gardener, he could kill a cactus. This guy's he's horrible. No offense. And we're still in the freaking tournament. John, have you ever seen a guy where every pitcher regresses on his pitching staff or whatever that term is? Some people like say digresses, which I like.
It's regresses.
It's incredible is what it is. It's offensive, really. That guy's drawing a paycheck. I mean, what are we doing?
Well, I think pitching is such a volatile thing.
Yes.
You see it everywhere. And you see it in Major League Baseball all the time. There's no other sport like baseball. You look at football players, basketball players, their level of skill doesn't vary drastically from one season to the next unless they're injured. But in baseball, you have these incredible swings, both in pitching and hitting. A lot of it is about mechanics. So I don't know. I don't know how bad a coach the pitching coach is. This season is not good for his resume, obviously. But I don't know how good these guys really are anyway.
So, Matt, this team kept a streak alive. That's what they did this year. It's very important to do that. It's a volatile sport. You want to stay in the thing. As much as it's a transfer portal sport now and it's a build a bear sport. You go to the mall and you build your bear. I don't even know if that's still there, but you go build a bear. Shout out to Robbie Bear in the afternoon, but you build a bear. 16 all-time tournament appearances. Matt, give it to me again, because I want to draw a cross-sport comparison here with basketball.
Yeah, I think it's 16 appearances. I think it's 7 super regionals and 6 trips to Omaha.
My gosh, John.
That streak of being in the field is still alive, and they potentially can make it 6 straight super regional appearances, which is just unprecedented and unheard of if they were to get out of Chapel Hill this weekend, because they did that last year by winning that regional against Wake Forest.
Now, here's my question for you guys. We watch all these sports. What is making Omaha, John, in basketball? Fair question to ask. You got to win 2 series to get there, essentially.
It's the Elite Eight.
All right. Brian Hartman, what do you say?
Omaha in basketball is got to be the Elite Eight, because 8 teams go to Omaha, and the Elite Eight, where Tennessee's been the last 3 years, they're one of 8 teams. So if you could translate it to college baseball, they would have been to Omaha, the Holy Grail, 4 times in history, 3 in a row.
That's
Matt Dixon, what do you say?
It's a little tough to go direct comparison, because it's a double elimination each weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get through 2 weekends, you make Omaha. If you get through 2 weekends in basketball, you're in the Final Four. And really, in Omaha, it's two Final Fours, together with that championship series. So I think it's kind of the same thing as a Final Four.
I agree.
It's double elimination field. I think you can lose. I want to say it's 4 games in the NCAA tournament in baseball and still win a national title. Now, most teams almost never do that, because you're playing too well to lose a regional or in the super. But you could potentially lose 4 games in the NCAA baseball tournament and still win a national title.
How many do you have to win, Matt, to win a national title?
In baseball, you got to win 10, I think, right?
Yeah, I think it's like you got to have.
You win 5 gets you to Omaha.
Yeah, if you do 5 to get to Omaha, and then you'd have 3 more to get to the championship series, and then 5. Yeah, it'd be 10, potentially even 11 or 12 if you had to come out of losers brackets.
So you have to win at least 10 to win a national title. That's a hell of an accomplishment by those guys a couple of years ago. John, that's a hard championship to win. And if you think in terms of just how unpredictable baseball is, how it's a game of skill, it's a day-by-day game. It's a day where some days the ball's going to go through your third baseman's legs. It just is. And some days he'll make that like with like with Florida State that Friday night. Most times the guy's going to make that play, but he didn't that night. And it's a very, very hard championship to win. I think it's really hard to get to Omaha. I think it's harder than an Elite Eight.
Well, neither one is easier, but you might be right when you think about how many games you have to win. And as you said, baseball is so volatile. You bring a pitcher in, you just can't be sure what you're going to get.
Mm-mm.
You bring in an All-American point guard, you pretty much count on what his stats will be.
Mm-hmm.
He might have an off night shooting sometimes, but he'll make up for an assist, maybe steals. But yeah, you don't know. It's not like you're not as likely to have an awful game, and you can just have an off the game in baseball. I mean, look at 2022.
Mm-hmm.
That's still all the years of Tony Vitello. The games that stick out the most to me aren't all the games that won.
No.
Or even the national champ. Now the national championship
It's
was
Adam
pretty
Gold.
dramatic. The
Adam
A&M
Gold.
game, Florida
Yeah.
State, but losing to Notre Dame, that team was so good,
Adam Gold.
so good for so long, and playing on its home field with all that momentum. I mean, that was a team that really defied the nature of the sport, where you have ups and downs and no, it just stayed up the whole year, and then it got to that series and couldn't quite make it.
You could feel it coming too. You could feel it in the air tonight. Hold on. That night, that team that night or that weekend was just never right. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. In here, somebody just said in our YouTube chat, might be the hardest championship in college sports to win. When you watch the Vols that year bow out, and there have been a couple other quote-unquote super teams that have won to that degree, and they don't go on, and they don't end up winning. And it's a very, very difficult. You play one bad baseball game, you put yourself behind the 8 ball, and you're in big trouble in that sport.
I think pressure factors into it when you get to that super regional, particularly when you've been as good as Tennessee was in 2022.
Yeah,
because hey, you're being called maybe the best team of all time, not just a potential national champion, but the best team of all time.
Yeah.
Think about this. North Carolina has been to the tourney now 38 times, and they've never won it despite going to Omaha 12 times. So 38-16 for North Carolina over Tennessee, 12-7 in College World Series trips, but the Vols have a natty and UNC doesn't.
That's incredible, Brian.
Well, what was it? Florida State?
Never done it.
Who was its coach that was so good for so long?
Mike Martin.
Mike Martin. Yeah.
They've been to Omaha like 40 times.
Well,
Brian, have they ever gotten to the championship series, North Carolina, or do they always go home with a case of rice-a-roni pretty early?
I don't think I think they may have gotten there and played Oregon State in back-to-back seasons, but Oregon State won both years. I think that was 07-08. Maybe Matt can confirm.
Yeah, I think they've gotten to the finals once or twice. Now, it might have been before it became the series, like the 3-game series, and it was just a 1-game deal, which I wasn't a fan of. But I think they've gotten to the finals once or twice.
Wow.
When we talk about the debate between,
excuse
me, Matt, when we talk about the debate, basketball versus baseball, one thing I think you have to factor into it, there are a lot of teams in college that just aren't that competitive in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
When you go up far north in that cold weather, you eliminate a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Now
the Big East and Big Ten, you can pretty much eliminate their whole traditional conference teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas in basketball, that's not a factor. So,
in a way, John, it makes a title harder to win, though, if you think about it, because now you got these players concentrated. And these teams are stacked.
Well, what happens is the programs we think of as mid-majors, as you're saying, you don't really – East Carolina in the common vernacular is really not a mid-major when you look at – because it's been competitive against the major programs.
And sooner or later, here's my point about East Carolina, and it might be this year. Sooner or later, they're going to Omaha. Sooner or later, we're going there in basketball. I know you don't think, some of you have given up hope that's going to happen. I'm of the Beano school. You get me into that tournament enough times, and by dumb luck, sooner or later, the ball's got to bounce your way. It's just got to. I mean, if you think about it, it's just, Brian, how many times have we been to the NCAA tournament now in basketball? Do we know that
high number? It's in the high 20s, like 27, 28.
Let's see if we can dig it up. And then how many Elite Eight appearances we've had? Because we've had 3 in a row. I guess 4 total in school history. I mean, sooner or later, I know Negaday doesn't want to hear this. Sooner or later, Rick Barnes is going to do it. I mean, John, the odds, the more you go, the more comfortable you get winning the first 3 games as a program, even if the players change, the more the fans get used to it. That's another thing. See, I'll tell you something that happened to us that taught me a lesson about baseball that Braves
28.
fans say, and now 28 appearances, okay. And now Philly fans are saying this last year in the playoffs. When you have a stadium full of people that's expecting something bad to happen, because that's what happened on that Sunday. That thing was off against Notre Dame. It was a weird vibe in the air. And I've talked to players on that team. Evan Russell told me, he said, oh, yeah, you could feel the dugout. We could sense the crowd was nervous. It kind of made us nervous. Braves fans really believe that down through the years, that's the thing that's hurt them. Their fans go in there expecting something bad to happen in the playoffs. And then when something bad starts to happen, their crowd goes like this, look. and in Philadelphia, it's happened the last couple of years. They had the greatest home field advantage, and they're the greatest show on turf. And Tony Vols called me after one of those. It was incredible up there last night, and blah, 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 blah. And then just like that, somebody went in there and beat them, and that was it. That was that.
When you talk about, though, you're almost saying it's a law of averages. You get there so many times.
Yeah. But
then we've also talked about programs right here that have been there time and time again, and they never get there. Is Purdue ever won a national championship in basketball?
No, but for the longest time they hadn't been to a Final Four till they played us, right?
Well, but the thing is, though, they've won so much in basketball. They've had a lot of good players, a lot of good teams, and it's been true with all the different coaches. We just singled out Mike Martin, a really good coach at Florida State, who built really a dynasty, but you can't say it's a dynasty because it didn't win a national title. But all the times that Florida State qualified for the tournament and still didn't win. So I think it is possible to go forever.
Sure it is. Oh, well, yeah, in any of these sports, I guess it is. Sooner or later, they're going to get through, too. The Sheriff guy's a nice coach, and they're hosting this year. All right, Matt, let's get back to it. When we come back on the other side, I'm going to ask you, the living listener, has this baseball team done enough this year? Pretty simple question. If they go 2 and done, have they done enough this year? Rodney is asked me a super chat question, John. It's sort of a personal nature. Would you like to answer it? He's an LSU guy. He's asked in the past about certain things. Ask John if he remembers Andy Leopold, the original sports shock jock from the 80s.
Andy Leopold.
Yeah, who is it?
Yeah, he was on WBRZ, the channel. Well, I guess back then it was the NBC affiliate there in Baton Rouge. Andy Leopold, the owner of the station there in Baton Rouge, of that station, also owned our paper. So we used to travel to road games.
So you knew this guy.
So basketball, we would fly the company plane. We'd go, oh, yeah.
on
Yeah,
the company plane.
Yeah, well, we had some harrowing experiences. Trust me, going to SEC games, night games, coming back at 2 a.m. We'd file our stories. But anyway, Andy was really, yeah, he was a character, and he was a wild man. I think he used to be a cab driver before he got into broadcasting. I liked Andy, and but he had a fear for flying. He just really wasn't comfortable flying. We get on that company plane because Mr. Manship that owned it, of course, he had a bar, a little mini bar there, and Andy would be drinking. And Sam King, another sports writer, we traveled together. Sam and I knew this, so we would do things. Sam would just hit on the side of the plane in there,
and just Andy to make a noise.
Yeah, and Andy will go.
That's cruel, man.
And Andy go, "What was that?" And I go, "Oh my gosh, Sam, I thought Herb got that fixed." And
that's terrible of you guys.
And Sam would say, "Yeah, he was supposed to, but he didn't."
I don't know, Andy. I think I saw a wheel fall off.
And you know what he did to him? What Sam did one time? We fly Final Four in Philadelphia. Mr. Manship, we get there, and Andy was kind of helter-skelter, kind of like you. He wasn't well organized. We get to Philadelphia. It's March, late March. It was cold.
Yep.
We get there, and Eddie doesn't even have a coat. He said, "Man, it's freezing out here." The pilot, Herb Taft, says, "Well, Andy, Mr. Manship, he's got a coat, cashmere coat in here, overcoat that you can wear, but you got to be super careful with it." And he goes, "Great, yeah." So he wears the coat, and so first chance Sam got, he hid the coat.
LSU's Final Four in Philly, 1986?
81.
81.
Indiana, Bobby Knight. That's when Bobby Knight said, "I was worried till I looked down the bench and saw Dale Brown."
And those two guys used to go, and then Dale Brown called him a bully, and if only people knew who the real bully was in that deal.
Yeah.
We'll come back on the other side.
Andy Leopold.
Upon the continuance, thank you, Rodney, for that. So I think Dr. Danny's collection plate, who's made an appearance, Dr. Danny's collection plate speaks for all of us when he says, John Adams, when he gets the spinning yarns, could be the most interesting man in the world. Shout out Dos Equis. 2026 survey says Mexicanos after this.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis. That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Nothing reminds you of how much you rely on your air conditioner like the first really hot day in East Tennessee. Schedule Pipe Wrench Home Services' $79 seasonal tune-up now before the heat sets in. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune your HVAC system to help it run efficiently and reliably while reducing the risk of breakdowns when you need it most. And while we're there, we can also recommend ways to improve your indoor air quality for cleaner, healthier air throughout your home. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when comfort matters most. Schedule your $79 seasonal tune-up today at pipewrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer valid on standard systems only. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate. Look your best. Get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall has the best selection. Top brands for you to choose from this season. Look, it's nice and warm outside. So get into any of their 6 air-conditioned East Tennessee locations. Shop online, download the app, grab your Tennessee baseball jersey, your hat, your decal, maybe a t-shirt, and they have so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Go Vols and shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Touch them all with Alumni Hall. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
School is out, so let's kick off summer with your Knoxville Smokies. Next week is a huge week for your Smokies. He's back. It's the king himself. It's Elvis night on Thursday. Get your herd together because it's Chick-fil-A night on Friday with post-game fireworks. Live wrestling and fireworks for wrestling night on Saturday and Sunday. It's our kids' summer kickoff. Yes, it's June 7th. 6-7. It's jam-packed, so get your tickets now at smokiesbaseball.com.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Matt Dixon, true or false? This is John Adams on a Tuesday. Tennessee's had a successful year getting here, and they don't have to do anything from here for the season to be called a success. True or false?
I think that's mostly true, but it does matter how you finish and how it plays out. And you go 0-2 this weekend. I think that's a really, really disappointing finish.
John?
But, it's mostly a success to make the postseason, absolutely. And you made it pretty easily.
John, and I'll ask the callers as well. Yeah, they didn't politic their way in like Kentucky did. Let's put it that way.
Tennessee, to me, has already had a good season. Josh Elander, first-time head coach.
Yep.
The way that we talked about it earlier, but you didn't just lose your coach and really the coach in college baseball.
Yep.
Who had a mini dynasty going. I don't know if you can call
you lost Elvis. You lost Elvis.
Yeah.
This guy's a legend, man.
Tony has left the building.
Yes.
Tony has left the building. But as you pointed out, he took one of the country's best pitching coaches with him. That was and this all happened. And I don't think, and I didn't used to think about this, but I do now since I've been following it more closely, and I know Matt's very aware of it. So, but I think fall baseball practice is way more meaningful than spring practice in football. I really do. In spring football practice, you hold so many guys out. They're hurt. They got to have a minor surgery, whatever. Not there's any such thing as minor surgery, but in baseball, you got all these players. You're trying to settle on positions. You're trying to settle on who's going to be in your starting rotation as a pitcher, who will be the middle inning reliever, who will be your closer, all that kind of stuff. It's so important. So for all that to go through all that, and then the guys that assembled the team are gone, although Elander returned. It's a challenge, and particularly when you're in the SEC, and you mentioned earlier LSU and Vanderbilt. LSU's won 2 of the last 3 national titles, and it's not even in the tournament. Vanderbilt, a long run of success. So many good players have gone through there. And yet they just dropped off the map this year. So it's just such a hard sport in which to be consistent. So I give Elander a lot of credit for what he did this year.
Elvis,
I'll say this.
Yeah. Yep.
If they go 0-2, I'll be disappointed because that means they likely lost to, well, they would have lost to East Carolina and VCU. And that would be a very disappointing way to finish what was a season we could probably feel pretty good about.
But Brian, don't you think you can still feel good about the season?
I think you could, but to go 0-2 and lose to who they would have lost to, that would leave a pretty bad taste in my mouth.
Well, but we just got through saying how formidable a program East Carolina has, so there's no shame in losing to East Carolina.
865-200-5402. That does not denote what happens on YouTube. Why is that, Laura? I'm just asking a question here. This camera is the one feeding YouTube, not this one. The top camera, not the bottom one. I've gotten very confused the last couple of days. We're just having a little. And you're confused as why I keep moving around. I'm confused as why I keep moving around. But see, I keep going off the screen because I can't figure out which camera's which. See, look, that's the top camera.
We're back in the kitchen watching some people prepare our meals for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so odd. It was the bottom camera. Oh. Let's go back to the phones. So Jacob Doman says the goal is championships, Tony. Okay, fine. The goal is championships. That's great. You have magical thinking and you have the IQ of 30. I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you, man. Hey, Jacob, we just got done saying it's the hardest championship in college sports to win. You're going to win it every year, Jacob?
What he's saying, Tony, is he always expects the most.
What he's saying makes no sense. It's a literal, it's championship culture from fans that go, well, we should win it because we wear the volunteer uniform. Sorry, it's not how it works. Sorry.
But a lot of fans feel that way, not just at Tennessee.
I mean, that's great. But you have to look at each individual team, each individual season and say, okay, and have an honest assessment of where you are, where the year has gone.
What's the history of your program? How many national titles has Tennessee won in men's basketball?
That's the point. Now we're talking.
How many has it won in football?
Well, that's the point. Now we're talking. That's another great discussion point. And so
maybe he's talking about SEC championships.
Let's go to the phones.
Maybe he's talking about state championships.
Mac, what's the story? Matt, what's the story on Mac? Is he going to pitch? 7 question marks.
I think I have no idea. I know he's not been shut down. Like he's still kind of throwing here and there. So I don't know. But even if he does pitch, I don't know what you can expect from him. Like I'm not sure he can be a starter and go out there and throw 80 or 90 pitches in a game. Like who knows? He might have to be a reliever, which could work out for you. You kind of need a right-handed arm in your bullpen, honestly. But if I had to guess, I would say he doesn't pitch, but that's just a total guess because I just don't know.
What's wrong with his arm?
It's tired.
All they've said is general arm soreness. They've said that for about 3 weeks now.
Well, doesn't that get better?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
is somebody advising him not to pitch?
I'm not
So-
advising him not to pitch.
Let's go back here. So, Brian, what is your stance on this? Do the Vols have to win this weekend in order for the season to be successful? Yes or no?
You mean come out of the regional? No. Come out of the regional, no. But I think what I want to see is them get to the regional championship game, get to the regional final, and play on Monday, winner take all.
Well, that's great, but I still say you've accomplished something already. You just
I agree with John.
you just getting to the
Getting to
NCAA
this
tournament
thing's enough. It's enough for me.
under the circumstances.
I don't, guys, let's be honest here. I don't expect this team to get out of this weekend.
Well, its pitching is just too thin.
They don't have any pitching. They've got basically the Blanco guy, the way he's been going, you got 1.5 starters. I mean, he's been getting hit early in the early. I mean,
Yeah,
Matt, he's
early
been getting it
innings.
early. And if you do that in one of these games, you do that Friday night. That's one of the reasons why I don't know if I'd start him Friday. Because if you lose that first game, I think there's a serious case to make that you go out there and get that first win and worry about the rest of it. And you throw your ace on Friday night. This team can't assume anything.
Well, no, it can't assume, but I think to have it, if you're trying to win the regional, the best chance is to save Coons for the toughest opponent in game 2. That you've got that you're not, if you can't beat East Carolina with your number 2 starter, you're not winning the tournament. You're not winning the regional.
Matt, what do you say? Do I make a case or no?
No, I think you can make a case either way on and I don't think there's necessarily a wrong answer. I personally would start Blanco and save Coons for a potential game with North Carolina because, I mean, you're right, and Tennessee has to win game 1.
Yeah.
But I also think you have to win game 2 as well to have any chance of winning the regional. And the only way I mean, Blanco's actually had some success against North Carolina, and even did it in Omaha a couple of years ago. But I just think Coons gives you that chance, and Blanco is kind of a little bit more consistent. I think you should know what you're going to get out of him if you can get through that first inning. I think you can do pretty well with him, but you can make a case either way. But just personally, I would probably start Blanco and save Coons for game 2.
To the phones we go. To the living listener. Does this team, in order for you to call this season a success, does this team have to win this week? What do they got to do this weekend? I think the season's already a success. I think you've kept your string alive. I think it would be remarkable if you got out of there. I think it'd be a kind of a if North Carolina played the Vols and let the Vols beat them, it'd be an all-time choke job by them to let this Tennessee team get out of their building. That'd be a tough result for them for the way we're set up pitching wise. Because the problem we have, John, isn't even the Mac thing like John's saying or like Matt was saying and what you're going to get out of him. The real story is if you think about it, that bullpen.
Oh,
But
you're going to get to a third game.
Yeah.
When you get to a third game, how can you expect to win that? You better plan on scoring in double figures.
So if we win, here's where I'm at, okay? Is winning a game a good weekend over there? Matt said just don't go over there and get shut out. I'm not going to put words in Matt's mouth. Matt said if we go over there and get swept out of the weekend, there's no way you're happy with that when you're a program of our ilk.
But would that factor into your thinking as a manager?
That's what I'm saying. I would get Friday night.
No, but I wouldn't because I would want to. I think he knows what the standard for him isn't winning a game in the regional. Even though it's a successful season getting to the tournament, he wants to win the regional. So the best chance to me of winning the regional is not starting Coons in the opener.
To the phones we go. Tennessee baseball really makes it count. 16 all-time tournament appearances, counting this one. 7 super regionals, and it could happen this year. Imagine if they went to 8 super regionals and 16 appearances. And I asked a question earlier, and I want you to, if you want to grapple with this as a caller as well, give us your thoughts. What is the equivalent in basketball of going to the super regional? I mean, of going to these guys say a super regional, or going to the College World Series, rather, is the equivalent going to the Elite Eight in basketball, or is it the Final Four in basketball, getting to Omaha? Matt thinks of the Omaha event as 2 Final Fours, which is an interesting way of looking at it, because that is the way, if you think about it, the way this thing's constructed. You got to win 2 series to get there. It's very difficult to get there. And then you got to go. And then if you think about how hard that championship is, there's very little doubt in my mind it's the hardest championship to win. Because when you get there, then you got to fight. And we've seen teams fight their way out of the loser bracket against the best competition in America. And that's got to exhaust your entire baseball team. As good as this team was 2 years ago, if they lose on that Friday night, they're going to have a hell of a time trying to fight their way out of that loser bracket. I don't know that they can do that. I don't know that anybody can do that, really, John. But teams have done it.
Teams have done it. What another oddity in baseball to me is how teams, it's such an individual thing. When you're in the batter's box, there's no teammate to help you.
Yes.
I mean, nobody's going to give you an alley-oop pass to dunk.
Right.
You've got to do it. It's on you. It's how teams go into hitting slumps and go on hitting rampages together as a team. It's like everybody starts hitting well or everybody starts hitting poorly.
Yeah.
That's odd to me. Go back to last year's Braves team.
Yeah.
How that lineup could hit that poorly over the course of a season. And now you see what Atlanta's doing. It had a good lineup last year. More injuries, but that's an oddity to me in baseball.
We had a guy yesterday talk about who joined us. His last name is Bell, and he jumped on with us, Mason Bell. And he played at a college in where, guys? Somebody want to help me, Matt or Brian?
Southern Indiana. He played at Southern Indiana. He's out of Gibbs High School.
He's out of Gibbs. He listens to the show. He was driving over to Carolina. He's coaching in one of the summer leagues. His career just ended. He's coaching in one of those wooden bat summer leagues they have over in the Carolinas.
Oh, really?
And he called the show. And we were talking about the sport, and I said, hey, bad pitching, man. It seems like that's a catching thing on a baseball team, like almost like it's like a virus. When a couple pitchers start going bad, and he said that's exactly what happens. He said just like if it starts going really well, Tennessee, as a Tennessee fan, you have got to hope. You have got to hope that with the postseason, a Krenzel wakes up and goes, hey, I got new life here. If I was coaching those guys, I'd walk up to every one of them. I'd say, look, what happened this regular season? I want you to look at your ERA. You see your ERA? It says 0.000. That's your ERA right now.
Nobody scored on you.
Nobody scored
all year.
It's a brand new season, babe.
Well, you mentioned Krenzel. You watch him throw some pitches.
Electric.
He makes some great pitches.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like me. If you were to watch me at any one time during this show, you'd say that guy is like Radio Hall of Fame material. And then you listen to the totality of what I do, you go, what a bottom feeder.
No, I think you're really Hall of Fame material.
Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, this is Blake from Chattanooga.
Hey, Blake in Chattanooga. Welcome in.
Hey, how are you?
Great to talk to you, my friend. You're on with John Adams, the great Matt Dixon, and the incomparable Brian Hartman.
Nice. Yeah, good to your question about the baseball season. I think there's two ways that I've been looking at it. Overall, as a season, I think it is a success as an overall, just because I think I was in the same boat you were a few months ago. We weren't a very good baseball team. I didn't think we were going to make it to a regional the way we were looking, and we kind of caught fire there towards the end after that Bama series, and we found our way making a regional pretty easily. So I think that's something to really build on. And I think Elander's done a great job of just growing and really figuring out how to be a head coach of a SEC team. And just because early on in the year, it looked awkward out there. It didn't really seem like he knew when to pull guys. Didn't look like his confidence was kind of getting down a little bit. And now he looks confident. He's making good decisions when he needs to. And
I think
that's kind of really what I wanted to see. I wanted to see growth, and we saw that.
I agree with that.
But
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Finish your thought.
At the same thing, though, I don't want to see us get shut out this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would sting a little bit with how we have finished.
Mm-hmm.
I do want us to see us do well. Now, I mean, do I expect to win the regional? No. But I don't want to get shut out. I want us to win a couple of games and at least be in the running for it, have a chance to win the regional. I think we would have a lot to build on.
Excellent points by you. It would be great to see some of our young players play well. Matt, a couple of the young pitchers, Matt, came up who are going to get opportunities in this thing. It'd be really nice to see them perform well here out of our bullpen, Matt, for next year, looking ahead.
Yeah, it would be. Have guys come along. You've kind of built some of them towards this kind of postseason run, or you've tried to throughout the course of the year. But yeah, you're going to need some, even if it's just to eat some innings in a game that you're behind in, to save pitching for the next game. Like that stuff matters in the postseason in this deal, especially with the lack of depth. So yeah, you need some of those younger pitchers to step up, kind of like some of your younger hitters have finally come around the back half of the season.
Do you in Chattanooga?
Yes, sir.
When you look at making the College World Series, what is that akin to you in basketball? What do you liken it to? What's your analogy?
I like the double Final Four analogy.
Yeah.
I like that a lot because I kind of think of the Final Four just because in basketball that's the big event, that's the goal.
It's a great point.
Make it to the Final Four, you see what happens. You know what I mean? And then in baseball, it's like get to Omaha, we'll see what happens. So I like that double Final Four analogy.
It's kind of like, we were talking about before with programs that are due. This Lady Vol softball program is big time due to win one. And they've got the pitching to do it. They've got 3 elite pitchers.
Yeah, the pitchers are looking great.
Yes, they've got
not just Carlin Pickens.
Oh, no. They got
There's a few of them you can throw out there.
Yeah, they've got 3 basically elite pitchers. They could win it. Brian, if they execute in the field and hit the baseball a little bit, and the way they got through the Super Regional is they had a kid that's a very light hitting, spindly looking, very thin, hit 2 home runs in that first.
Jeez, you make her sound
hadn't
like
hit a home run in 2 years.
Hadn't hit a home run in 2 years.
2 days.
Make it sound like she's not strong enough to hold up a baseball
She
bat.
looks very tiny, right, Bri? I mean, she's very tiny.
Yeah, she's 5'4". She's all of 5'4". And what they'll have to do, though, is
she's on top of the pyramid. She's the one doing the flips.
Yeah, she's on very top.
They left 13 men on. They scored all their runs on homers, and they left 13 on in the 2 games. So they're going to have to get some of those runners home in Oklahoma City.
Jeez,
but the pitching is going to give them a chance if they can just come up with 1 or 2 more big hits.
How about Mississippi State beating Oklahoma?
Isn't that crazy? From a coach.
I was just about to say, I thought
started
that was a
under
big
her.
help for the Lady Balls.
Absolutely.
With Oklahoma going home.
Absolutely.
Oklahoma. That's one of the most amazing programs in sports.
Oh, yeah.
How many times they've won it all.
That's a Lady Vols under Pat Summitt back in the day. That's what that is when you beat them. And one of her.
Or Connecticut under Gino.
Last year?
Say it again.
Is that who put us out last year? Or we get put out by somebody else?
Texas beat us in the first round and out in
Texas
Omaha.
and Oklahoma beat
Texas
Tennessee
and
last year.
And
that was their 2 losses in Oklahoma City.
Those
Oklahoma first, and then
you
Texas
weren't beating
2-0.
either team last year. That Tennessee team
Yeah,
wasn't beating either one. Yeah. Hey, listen.
They were really good. I remember watching those games.
I appreciate you, my friend, in beautiful Chattanooga. Have a Dwight Gooden.
Yes, sir. You too.
Thank you, my man. Be safe. 865-200-5402. And we continue. We're going to open it up. I want to hear from you. You tell me what making the College World Series is in your mind, Tennessee has been incredibly efficient in getting there. Their opponent on Friday has been to 3 times as many NCAA tournaments as the Vols and have never been there. That's a pretty astounding number. While Tennessee's been there multiple times. And Tennessee went on and won a national championship. And then when you start looking at the numbers, you really appreciate Tony Vitello and this whole era. And hopefully, my hope is, okay, all of our hope is that Josh Elander, we can start calling it at one point the Vitello-Elander era. That's your hope. Your hope is he does well enough so that you can hyphenate this thing. And that's what making the tournament, I think, does, is it allows for that possibility to exist. Because if you think about it, and John said it earlier, no LSU, no Vanderbilt, no Louisville. Several of the teams that went to the College World Series last year are number 2 seeds right now, which shows you just how full of parity the sport is, and it's just an unpredictable sport. And when you look at the betting odds and you look at where the Vols are in this thing, they're very lightly regarded heading into this tournament.
Pitching.
And they should be lightly regarded.
Yes.
Yeah. I say rightfully so. We continue on the other side, 865-200-5402. Wide open for your phone calls. Continue with more. By the way, I called Florida a bunch of low-rent rednecks yesterday on the air. I might have to amend that. After getting more information on what happened with Florida and Texas Tech. Let's unpack that as well. And we'll continue with more right after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Tona B, inviting you to experience the Collins Insurance difference. And what's that? How about multiple top carriers that you can trust? Like Erie, they underwrite our entire Rainier studio and everything around it. Travelers, Hartford, Hanover, Progressive. We do what's right because we care. In today's technology-driven world, maintaining the human touch, Bruce Springsteen, is one of our main focuses. We deliver the best customer service humanly possible. We give you someone that you can actually call or sit in front of. Imagine that. No call centers here. Experience the Collins Insurance difference. Check them out at collinsinsuranceTN.com, and they're Mrs. B approved. Collins Insurance.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
This Memorial Day, leave the cooking to us at Calhoun's, the taste of Tennessee. Make Memorial Day easy with a family feed pack. No prep, no stress. Just incredible barbecue for everyone. You can order online in minutes at calhouns.com. Swing by for convenient curbside pickup. You get your choice of fresh smoked pork, brisket, barbecue chicken, or ribs. All absolutely delicious. And then Smoky Mountain baked beans, creamy country slaw, Calhoun's barbecue sauce, of course, plates and napkins, and buns. Plus, you'll receive a free gallon of tea, plus some fresh baked cookies. When you order online for pickup, May 22nd through the 25th, you'll use the code Memorial Day at checkout. So make Memorial Day easy with the family feed pack from Calhoun's. Order online at calhouns.com. The taste of Tennessee.
Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got 2 locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
Growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org, and both locations we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities. FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Got a plumbing or HVAC problem at home? Whether it's an AC that won't cool, a furnace acting up, a clogged drain, or a water heater problem, Pipe Wrench Home Services is ready to help. Right now, when you schedule any HVAC or plumbing repair, your service fee is waived with the completed repair. That means expert help fast without the extra cost just to show up. Our certified technicians will quickly diagnose the issue and provide reliable solutions to make your home comfortable again. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when help matters most. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. Schedule your repair today at pipewrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Service fee waived with completed HVAC or plumbing repair. Restrictions apply. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3 TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times, 80 proof of vodka, delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice For a premium award-winning experience, be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3 TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka, T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka, distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee.
TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
That Cedar Bluff Plumbing spot is a jam. Shout out to Chucky Mack as I welcome you back. 865-200-5402. I got to correct the record here. I thought it was all Florida being total rednecks, which generally it is Florida being total rednecks. But Florida actually probably this time around anyway, when they got put out by Texas Tech, how do I put this? Florida wasn't in the wrong. That's weird, John. It's weird to say. Here's what Kevin Brockway writes. Someday Jason Williams will grow up. Now, here's the thing about Jason. Here's the thing about what happened the other day. And Jay Will played there. They called him White Chocolate. Him and his wife, Danica, still hold a grudge. Florida softball coach Tim Walton, they claimed their daughter Mia was mistreated by the veteran Florida coach, which led to Mia's transfer to Texas Tech this past offseason. In a profanity-laced interview with his son, Williams referred to Walton as both a liar and a bad person. Mia Williams isn't the first college athlete who didn't get along with her coach, and she's not going to be the last. Regardless, she exacted her revenge at the plate, going 3 for 7, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs to help lead Texas Tech to a 2-1 series win and a trip to the Women's College World Series. About Jason Williams' behavior, Kevin Brockway wrote, someday Jason Williams is going to grow up. You got to cut him some slack. He just turned 50. Not to mention, he said, there's plenty of blame to go around at the Gainesville Super Regional between Florida and Texas Tech, devolving into a Jerry Springer-like atmosphere. Can I tell you something? I celebrate that. But we're going to unpack it here in a second because Matt's seen various clips. I've seen some clips. We're going to educate you, the living listener, so we can watch the Women's College World Series knowing that this thing could get spontaneously combustible. And to quote my brother Steve, I'm for it. I'm for it. Because I want a little wrestling with my softball. Anyway, Florida fans weren't at their best in reacting to perceived slights. And the action on the field at Katie Cecil Presley Stadium, is that the name of it?
It's a mouthful.
He said neither were Tech fans. The lightning rod in the series, though, was Jay Will, a.k.a. White Chocolate. Among Jay Will's antics, as his daughter was putting down her former team and getting hit by them 6 times in the process in a couple of softball games, John. Jay Will could have cheered politely in his seat, taking the high road, knowing the cameras and cell phones are going to monitor his every move. Instead, he acted like a clown, mocking the Gator Chomp. He was running up and down the concourses. He was yelling into the ear and crowding the space of a Gator fan and taunting a fan in the handicap section, which resulted in a senior citizen Florida fan being ejected.
Why'd the Florida fan get ejected?
And the section had to be roped off for the remainder of the series. This is why Kevin Brockway is going to appear on here, John, at some point this week, because I want to know exactly what happened. Because, again, we celebrate. I like a little, give me a little sizzle at my steak. There, TMG Fest. Yes, Mia Williams was hit 5 times. I'm sorry, not 6. 5 times. I wanted to crack the record here by Florida pitchers. But much of that had to do with her propensity of crowding the plate. Walton said the goal was to pitch her inside throughout the series and claims that none of the 5 were intentional. Mia Williams took the plunks, set up her teammates as a good teammate would. And then he goes into Jason Williams' complicated legacy with Florida. Said that first true blue Florida basketball star under Billy Donovan, Bell, West Virginia, played alongside NFL Hall of Famer Randy Moss on the same team. Look up the documentary Rand U. You will see both of their stories told there. The place where they came from in West Virginia, well, let's just say it looked like a place worth escaping from, at least back then. But he went to Marshall. Then he transferred with Billy Donovan back in '96. I remember him as an electrifying basketball player. He played the 97-98 season. He was extremely electric, but he lasted only 20 games. Before his Florida career was over, he was kicked off for failing multiple drug tests. White Chocolate went to the NBA draft, where he then became a decade and a half pro, had a great NBA career. And now he's a 50-year-old with a daughter taunting handicapped people, running up and down, mocking the Gator chomp.
He's come a long way. Who says people can't change?
Chip Champion says that Walton guy is known for being a total arse. It was clear he intentionally hit Williams 5 times. Brian Hartman, you are the expert in that sport. Let me ask you something. Okay, you ready? Because I need some expert analysis on what went on in that series. Is Florida still a bunch of rednecks? Expert analysis, Brian, on softball.
I'll say that the softball crowds are more fired up at the games than baseball by a long shot. And it's not just Florida. I think
you
there
got
was
an element there
in Nebraska where a fan was let out of the game late.
You got a pugnacious element at those games.
You have
John.
some real
lot of trash talking.
The fan bases are very passionate.
A lot of trash
Baseball's
talking.
more laid back in comparison.
I was watching
Tony,
the Texas series.
Let Brian talk.
Texas,
please.
The Arizona State Texas series, John. There was a guy down the line that was an Arizona State fan in Texas country, turning around when they would strike somebody out and going like taunting people, doing this kind of thing, you know, and pointing at the field and, you know, and literally like trying to intimidate these young girls that are out there playing the sport, or young women, I should say.
I know you like a little sizzle with your steak,
yes,
but the way the world is now,
yeah,
it's a total freak show a lot of the times. And you really don't need to encourage these people because they don't have any boundaries.
Danny's Jerry Curl said, who said this is a Tennessee talk show? Hey, Danny, you're a myopic simpleton. I don't know what to say.
Well, that was subtle.
Other than you are a myopic simpleton.
Well, what did he say again?
Tennessee could end up playing.
Thank you.
Tech.
Thank you, Brian.
They could have played him in the Super Regional.
Thank you, Brian.
If
That could
seedings
have
had
happened
been
in
one
our
difference,
stadium, Danny Jerry
Texas
Curls.
Tech was 11,
You
Florida was
simple-
6, Tennessee was 7.
You
Texas
straight
Tech could have
up
been sent to Knoxville.
You straight up abject simpleton.
And Florida getting beat in anything is something of interest.
Hey, Danny. He did say one other final funny thing. He said, this conversation today is outside my perimeter. Because we're laughing about how Danny White now is expanding the perimeter at UT where they're wanding you. So that is a job well done by you, as I rip you for being a simpleton.
By the way, I checked with the lady that cuts my hair.
Yeah.
And
almost cut my hair.
What?
It's a great Crosby, Stills, Nash song. Go ahead.
Oh,
Deja Vu record.
Okay. You got any more you want to say
No,
before
go
I
ahead,
get
go
on
ahead.
with this?
Go ahead.
Okay. I conferred with her. I sent her a photo of Danny White with his different hairstyle.
Yeah.
And I said, is this a perm? And she said, no. She
Thank
said,
you.
that's his natural hair.
Thank you.
And then she said, but first, she said, first, I need to see a picture of him with his previous hairstyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. She said, yeah, he's got naturally curly hair.
Just like I do.
You're Mo, Larry, and Curly all in one.
Yep, that's me.
You're all three of them.
That's me. I've started at one and morphed right on down the line.
God,
So, all right, back to where we were.
Where were we?
John, if you were in Kevin Brockway's spot, okay, and you had a former Tennessee great that brought an athlete back, and this can happen in this era we're living in.
Yeah.
This is the era for this. That is a 2026. Shout out to the great James Clausen and all the NIL. They all know. I mean, they call these people, you can start as a legacy and end as an enemy and show your rear end to everybody in the process. And here's the thing. I put myself in Jay Will's shoes.
That's scary.
Well, first of all, Matt, when we used to play the Battle of Basilios and we played in the basketball game, they called me white chocolate up there, Matt.
I bet they call you some other things.
Because I had the skills to play the Bills. The skills to play the Bills, Matt. But let me go back here.
You had some mixtapes back in the day, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure I got some mixtapes somewhere, yeah. I have a tape of a 19-year-old me somewhere calling a University of Delaware student-run station doing a rap for them over the phone. Back in my rapping days. There are some tapes that exist of that.
Oh, maybe you can have a wrap-off with Andy sometimes.
That sucker MC, I'd put him in the river by the time we got done. But Brian, I got to let you talk. You were making a case about how Texas Tech
really go all Jason Williams on you, Tone.
Texas Tech belonged in our region, Brian. Expound on that.
Texas Tech was the 11th seed, so they were matched up with Florida, who was the 6th seed. Tennessee was number 7. Georgia was 10. One line higher for either team could have resulted in Texas Tech and Tennessee playing each other in a super regional.
John, are you
and Jason Williams could have been in Knoxville, and maybe Jason Williams and Andy could have a wrap-off.
Do you guys
before the game?
Do you write, John? And is that a flashpoint story if one of our own would have acted like that in that stadium? And we hit the kid 6 times. Here's the thing. You hit my daughter 6 times, I'm running up and down the aisle and getting in your face too. If you're being egregious with my kid and hitting her that many times, Matt.
Yeah, but hopefully you won't be taunting someone in a wheelchair.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Thank you.
Although maybe that person did something to deserve it because that person got thrown out.
The person in the wheelchair got thrown out?
What they said. It's what the article, the account of it is. That should have been enough, but Jay Will acted like a clown, mocking the Gator Chomp, running up and down the concourse and yelling into the ear and crowding the space of a Gator fan in the handicap section. So they weren't in a wheelchair, but they were in the handicap section.
Oh, so that's different.
Resulted in a senior citizen fan being ejected.
So what did the senior citizen fan do? That's what I would like to know.
Had to have said something extremely nuclear, right? Had to have.
You would think so, yeah.
And let me just say this, from dealing with Florida fans in the past down there, I bet it was completely across the line. and uncivilized.
Well, when you think about it, just because people get older doesn't mean they get better.
That's a good point. You know,
maybe so he wasn't in a wheelchair.
A wise man.
That changes the story.
Yeah. A wise man once said that you are who you are most of the time at the age of like 17 or 18. Now, people can change. God changes people. But most times, kind of who you are is who you are. Let's go to the phones. Bad shower discipline says the following, Matt. See if this track's true for you. I'm just going to quote it. Are you ready, Matt?
Butch, no, that was a Derek Dooley reference.
Yeah, Derek Dooley. God. Since 2000, 49 unique teams made Omaha. And 66 unique teams made the Elite Eight. 45 unique teams have made the Final Four. He said, I think Omaha has a case to be comparable to the Final Four based on the fact that it's a rarity getting there. Matt, are you agreeing or disagreeing with bad shower discipline?
No, I agree. I think they are comparable, but that's a really good pull. Really good to look that up and have those. That furthers the case that the College World Series kind of is basically the Final Four. And I just think it is because of the way that the celebration that it is. Mm-hmm. I've never been to a Final Four, but the way that Omaha, the entire city, just embraces the deal and how it's just it's a great environment just outside of the games, and it's just a celebration of the sport. So I just think getting there, even if you go 0-2 and like a Murray State, last year, that like it's great that they got there and all that. I think the College World Series and Final Fours are the kind of the same equivalent, even though one has twice as many teams there.
Matt, that's to your point. I mean, I've only been to one College World Series, but yeah, I think the atmosphere is so great. Unfortunately, the Vols went 0-2. I was just getting into the event, and then they're gone, and we're leaving. So I would, when I look at the basketball Final Four, it's usually in a large. Well, I guess it's always in a large metropolitan area. Not that Omaha is small, but just the sense of the community and the fact that it's there every year. The whole. I mean, you could go to cover a Final Four and run into people who don't even know the Final Four is being played. If you're in Omaha, you probably won't run into somebody that doesn't know the College World Series is taking place. So I think that makes it a great atmosphere, a great fan experience.
I heard the coach yesterday, the young coach who's really impressive. I was watching Berkey's show yesterday that aired after they did the draw show. Chris Burke was just stellar on that program. God, the guy's just an excellent communicator. Just mind-boggling how excellent of a broadcaster Burke is. But the coach at Georgia Tech said, I don't want to be presumptuous because it's baseball, but I really want my group. My group deserves to feel the way they put their arm around you. And you go to this place that celebrates the sport unlike any other. And I've had so many people tell me, well, Brian went and saw. Brian, did you go see Skeens pitch there? Is that who you saw, Brian? You went a year. Tennessee
I saw the team that he was on, but I didn't see him pitch.
But it was that year.
Yeah, it was that year, yes. I saw him, and they played Florida.
I have people tell me all the time, they say, your team does not have to be playing for you to get a sense of what that event is. Will Heflin said the first year they went, when he was, Tennessee, he was on the first team that went. He said, it's overwhelming when you grow up playing that sport, how when you get there, he can see how if you're a first time team getting there, how it feels very bright to you because the whole town stops for you and you are really celebrated. It's kind of a neat thing, isn't it? In sports, it's a unique.
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, I was there with Austin Ward when Delmonico took a team there, and I thought that team had a really good chance to win the whole thing. It really did. And it went 0-2. And just going through 2 days of it, I was really getting into it and thinking how great this is going to be covering this event. And then Tennessee was gone, and so we're not going to stay there and write about the other teams for our readers. They don't care.
Well, I would have cared, but some of these myopic morons that are on this YouTube chat wouldn't have cared.
You've got some creative people in there, Tony.
Oh, I love these guys and gals.
Bad shower discipline. Yeah, and you know what? If you ask an average fan which Tennessee coach said that, I think most people would automatically say Butch Jones, because that sounded like something he would have said.
Yes.
But it was Derek Dooley.
That was the run of clowns we had here. Let's go to the phones because we have had. Send in the clowns.
Don't worry, they're here.
Jason Williams, who I love, he's since apologized for his actions.
Really? Well, he's really matured.
I'm actually disappointed he apologized. He should have doubled down.
Should have doubled down on the guy in the handicap section who got kicked out.
Steve Parker said Tony thinks it'd be great to get Brockway on along with a local tech beat writer. Hey, Steve. Why don't you relax, bro? Leave the comedy to me, you clown. We're going to go to the phones. But Danny's Jerry Curls, you saying the conversations outside your perimeter, you're reinstated in my gold circle of funny commentators. Because Danny, they say Danny's moving that perimeter on that campus, Matt, where they're wanding people now. They're wait till people get a load of what Danny White has planned for that campus this fall. If they let him pull it off, it's going to be so next level. And when they build that entertainment district, let's go to the phones. They say they're saying Jason Williams says that the guy that was in the handicap section threw stuff at him. That's why he went up there and taunted him.
So there's nothing wrong with the handicapped person's arm.
Let's go to the phones. I mean, for that person to get ejected, something had to really have happened, right? You agree with that? W. Lynn? I mean, only in Florida could only at Florida, a place full of that kind of trash, could that type of thing occur. A former player, a star player there, is taunting a fan, mocking their cheer, mocking the Gator Chomp. Anything can happen in 2026, y'all, in these sports. Anything.
I just want to know, is there a highlight video of this? And once they had that roped off area,
yep.
Did they charge you for a second lanyard to get in a roped off area?
Boy, Danny's getting ideas right now, listening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I'd like to see a video of all that happening. I really would. But, guys, y'all were talking earlier about what we expect for what constitutes a good season. Yes, yep. I believe we've already had a good season. But like in the last two Elite Eights, where we got slaughtered in basketball, I think going 0-2 would leave a bad taste in people's mouths, because in 21 regionals and super regionals, we've only gone 0-2 once. And that was last year.
That's remarkable, Matt. They've only been swept once, Matt? in regional and super regional play, Matt?
Well, that would have been at Arkansas last year, so they've never been swept in a regional. So yeah, that's a really good pull by W. Tennessee. They don't have a lot of the appearances in the postseason, but they make them count in baseball. They've done that historically.
And in the 7 college World Series we've been to, we've only gone 0-2 once, and apparently that was the one John Adams went to the first time Vitello took us.
Yep.
So we don't go 0-2. I mean, I'd like to go at least 1-2.
Well, that's a good point you make about the last game always is magnified. And if it's a really bad loss, using a football analogy, go back to Tennessee making the playoff in 2024 and goes to Columbus and just gets hammered by Ohio State.
That's a really good point.
Looks like it didn't even belong there.
That's a good point.
And then this season for Tennessee basketball, a really good run, making the Elite Eight, but just gets overwhelmed by Michigan. Those losses really stick with fans. They just endure forever.
And it's because, like I always, from the beginning when I started following football in the 60s, the bowl games meant so much as the bowl games meant more altogether. But because that last game sticks with you till next September.
Well, they used to say, and they used to believe this when I was first watching college football, that the bowl game set a tone for the next season. Now the bowl game lasts 2 minutes. I mean,
it's like a joke sometimes.
Yes.
I don't know that I ever believed that.
But they used to say it, though, right?
Yeah,
it was kind of,
they
it was
did
a belief
used to say it,
deal.
yes.
Yeah.
But,
it made everybody feel good till the next season. The common fans, what it did.
Sure it did.
If we won the bowl game.
Well, what happens, too, is when you're playing in Elite Eight, you're on a big stage in basketball. And to get overwhelmed in that game, that just amplifies the misery of it. You go back to the football game. I mean, a huge stage. You're playing Ohio State in Columbus.
Wonderful.
It's biggest, huge stage, and you just look like you don't belong. And, those losses do really resonate a long time.
So I'd like to, maybe win one, but once again, Matt, do we know how deep the fences are? Because if it gets into a home run derby, I think we have a better chance.
Yeah, Tennessee's by far the team that's hit the most home runs there. They had, before this past weekend, they had hit twice as many as North Carolina, which was a little surprising. I think it's more of a pitcher's park.
It is. It's steeper.
In this weather, it's warm. There's, balls are flying out of all these parks. It certainly turns into an offensive-led sport in the postseason, and that would favor Tennessee a little bit.
I believe the dimension is it's 15 to 20 feet deeper down one line. I think left field. It's deeper down right field for sure, and it's a little deeper than center field. It's a big ballpark.
But Tennessee just played
in that.
Go back to that Oklahoma series when you're playing in a double A was Oklahoma?
That was a triple A.
Yeah, it was a huge park, much bigger than Lindsey
They were
Nelson.
hammering balls.
Yeah, and that Oklahoma was too. And yeah. Here's the thing, though: you get in a park like that with Tennessee's pitching. I think you'd rather have it. I don't want an easy home run with Tennessee's pitching.
No. That's a really great point, John. With our relief
there's two ways of looking at it. I get that, John.
Yeah.
John's right.
Well, they don't give up easy home runs. They give up bombs. I'll give them that.
I mean, we got guys that would give up home runs in like Forbes Field, okay? Where it was like 430.
It doesn't matter for our pitchers.
No.
But I just remember those 3 warning track hits we had, and I'm thinking, at most ballparks they'd be out, but not Omaha, not Hoover. I know that. I've known that for years. But
when Tennessee brings in a relief pitcher,
it's over.
Well, you just think if they just get the first guy out,
yes,
it's so encouraging to fans, I think, because you don't have any expectations.
If I had the lead and I'm Tennessee in one of these deals, and I brought in some of their guys we have, I think I would keep like a Native American on a retainer and have him do like an Indian dance in the dugout.
How about that
feathers.
Indian? How about the Indian? You know, the guy that beat the drum, his name was John Adams, that did it for the Indians.
Really?
Yeah.
The Indian? The Indian was John Adams?
At one point, yeah. No,
Where's
he wasn't.
Joe Boo?
No, this was the guy that beat the drum.
The drum.
Yeah, he was John Adams.
My favorite is the night the teepee blew over in the old Fulton County Stadium. And there was a guy in there with he had like one of those small black and white televisions. He had like 2 beers and in a reclining chair. He was just sitting
and
there
rabbit ears on the TV.
And rabbit ears on the TV, John. That is a true story.
There were some strange things that happened. I covered quite a few games in Fulton County.
Why does Buck say getting a Native American to do a rain dance is racist? It's not racist at all.
No,
that's that
not.
culture. That's and what do people relax? Everybody.
I think I think it's hopeful if you get,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I take every edge I can get. I would have a go. Oh, whoa. I'd be conjuring it up, man.
Can we get
Titans Bill to do that?
Oh, that's what I was just. You took the words out of my mouth.
Making the trip in full regalia. Now that's
God.
racist.
I would love to hear Titans Bill.
That's racist.
I would love to hear Titans Bill on a PA system in a game. Can you imagine him doing that chant?
Titans Bill wants to go to Oklahoma City to follow the Lady Vols because he's such a big.
He really is. He's a big fan
we
of the
need him to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." I guess the 7th or 5th inning stretch,
and
or whatever they do.
Maybe do his like Sharon Stone take too. But thank you, W. Lynn. I appreciate the 865
Bill last week. That came out of nowhere. It's like a
John
guy
did it again Friday. Andrea, woo!
But he didn't bring up Sharon Stone again.
Yes, he did.
No way.
With Bino.
Are you kidding me?
We were in a room full of in a tent full of people setting up for this huge event, and they looked back like this. Look. I'm just glad we weren't at Calhoun's.
Why did he even bring up Sharon Stone?
I don't understand it. But why do we have a poster in here called Julie Herman's roast beef? 865.
I love that.
865
200. Yeah, there's one bite taken out of it, just a nibble.
That's what he said. Matt, who's the biggest launching pad on our somebody asked on our bullpen, who's your favorite? Like just you when they come in, you just know it's going out. Anybody come to mind?
I mean, I think like half the hits that Bo Rudy's allowed in SEC play were home runs.
What's Brady Frederick, maybe?
Yeah,
Frederick's pretty good.
He doesn't pitch a ton, and he hadn't pitched a ton down there. I mean, Blanco gives up a bunch.
Yes, he does.
Who's the kid that gave up the 2 long ones at the end of the Vanderbilt game, right there at halftime of Texas, or the
Brady Krenzel?
Not Texas.
He's another one.
Michigan. Krenzel.
Well, the thing about Krenzel is he'll make this dynamic pitch that looks like he should be pitching for the Dodgers right now, and then the next one is just goes and goes and goes.
Bender of Strength said that I use Native American and Indian in the same sentence. I'm trying over here.
What is either one's appropriate?
Well, back to the phones we go. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Dave in Ackworth.
Hey, Dave. Good talk to you.
Hey, I tell you, between the Indian talk and the bottom of the pyramid talk, I tell you, I love this show. I just love this show more every day. I don't think it can get any better.
To me, it's a breath of fresh air. It's what it is.
Well,
real.
If Titans Bill calls, it can get better.
It can get better.
That's 100% true. And I'll tell you what, though, John, you talked about breathing a sigh of relief, and if a reliever can get the first out. I think the teams that have played us have done all their damage with 2 outs, and a lot of them with 2 outs and nobody on. I've never seen a team give up more 2-out runs in my life. It's got to be an NCAA record this year. How many 2-out runs have been scored on Tennessee?
You're so right.
I'm telling you, I told the guys from TMG Fest that they really ought to have our relief corps there next year, meeting and greeting and starting the fires. Because out of two outs and nobody on, they can start an absolute inferno. Our relief pitchers, John. It's crazy.
You've got multiple walk-up songs to choose from for our relievers. Fire by the Ohio Players, Fire by the Pointer Sisters, the remake of Fire by the Pointer Sisters by Elmer Fudd. I don't know if you've ever heard Robin Williams do that, which is absolutely hilarious. Lots of different Serpentine Fire by Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, we can go on and on and on.
That's nice.
What was that old 80s song, My Baby Dropped a Bomb on Me?
Oh, you dropped a bomb on me. That's very good. Gap Band, you got, and by the way, Bruce Springsteen wrote that Fire by the Pointer Sisters.
Oh, he did. That's correct. Yes. Yes. Who, by the way, although you were correct, Tony, but both Bruce Springsteen and Rick Springfield did your song that you referenced on the commercial, and I can't remember what it was now, but I can't remember that commercial, what the song is. But by the way, just completely change the topic. Speaking of those two, have you ever heard Rick Springfield's song, They Call Me Bruce? She Called Me Bruce.
No. Is it like tongue in cheek? That's great.
He had an experience where this woman he met and he had a one-night fling thought she thought he was Bruce Springsteen the whole night. And he just played right along with it and ended up writing a song about it. It's fantastic. Yeah, she had him confused with Bruce Springsteen and thought that's who she was with all night, and he just played right along with it and never said anything about it.
We ought to do it like a fun third hour this week of songs that apply to our bullpen. That'd be a fun thing. Because somebody just said, Jimi Hendrix, Let Me Stand Next to Your Fire is a good one. I mean, literally, like the whole fireman concept, I get it. Like you come out of that bullpen, they need you to turn the fire out. We got Carrie out there. We got Firestarter. I mean, literally. It's like a horror movie, John, when we go to that bullpen.
Hey, David Keith started in Firestarter.
There you go.
There we go.
Reenactment.
We got a Knoxville connection there. Hey, Tony, I will take your side. I think the College World Series and the Final Four are very, very comparable. I just it's two. You win 2 weekends in a row to get to the final destination. That will determine your national champion. The reaction that the players have to get to the Final Four, the reaction that the players had to get to the College World Series, to me is very similar. Your fan base's reaction to it is also very similar. It's just a natural progression of both sports. Yes, there's different a number of teams, but I think it fits I think both of them are very, very comparable.
Bino, Jeff said it's also where the national championship is crowned. That's why he believes it's comparable as well.
Because nobody talks about once you get to the College World Series, getting to the Final Four.
No, they don't at all.
No,
you're right.
Because as a matter of fact, you're playing in 2 brackets to get to the Final 2 there, not to the Final Four.
Yep.
So that's not comparable at all. Once you get there, there's not another step. It's the World Series and the national championship. It's the Final Four and the national championship. You know?
I like the setup too. And when you think about it, after you've been there a few times and you kind of see it play out, this weekend you've got a tournament. Next weekend you've got a series. The following weekend you've got a tournament, and then you've got a series. That like a best out of 3 series. It's a great format. Whoever came up with it, it's a great format.
Yeah, I like it I think it used to, if I'm not mistaken, did it used to be just a double elimination? There was no 3-game series in the final?
At the end, that's right.
Elimination?
Yeah, I think that's right. Yep. And they changed it and made a championship series.
I like this better.
I do too.
I mean, think about it. We wouldn't have won the Natty in 24 if that had been the case.
No doubt about it.
Well, I take that back. We hadn't lost yet, had we? No, neither. Had either
Neither
team
team
lost?
had
Did
lost.
A&M lose?
No, I don't think so. I think both teams were.
So that would still be the best 2 out of 3.
Yes.
Because neither team had. We'd both gotten there undefeated.
Yes,
But
and
that wouldn't have
looking
changed
back on it,
anything.
guys, that was a hell of an A&M team Tennessee beat. They were very good.
Boy, they came on strong. They went out swinging, didn't they?
They were loaded.
Yep. That's all I got, guys. Y'all have a great one.
Thank you, brother. 865-200-5402. More phone calls as we continue. We've had a robust conversation. We've got John seeing the light because I think it's a very interesting conversation. Yeah, there's 8 teams, but it doesn't feel like the Elite 8. It's the goal in the sport. And getting out of those super regionals, I think, is just like trying to win your region when you're playing college basketball. I think there's that much weight.
There's
pressure that it carries.
The regional final in basketball and the super regional in baseball are comparable in terms of pressure you feel.
Yeah.
Certainly, yeah, because you're one step away from the big game.
Matt's analogy is well thought out, which is Matt's a smart guy now. It's 2 Final Fours. When you think about it, it's probably right. It's 2 mini tournaments.
Maybe
at the end of the deal.
Maybe I took it too literally.
No, I think I think a lot of people. What it does for me is it helps me appreciate how hard it is to get there. And one of my goals for the show today is to love on this team, because for them to get here, they could have easily folded it up like Vanderbilt did or LSU did. They were right in that spot with them 6 weeks ago. And those 2 teams basically did what the Cleveland Cadavers did last night and said, and they, you know what they do in the NBA now? When it's 3-0, everybody on that team, including the coaches, are making their plans for Cancun.
Did that team
Cozumel and where we're going?
You think of
they didn't try.
Yeah, that game was a game of runs. You think of it, NBA basketball as much as any sport is a game of runs, but there was no run coming. That when they got down,
they didn't even try.
They just gave up.
It's kind of like that Atlanta Hawk team that was down like 50 at one point in their game in their game 4. I mean, let me tell you something. And then on the NHL game on the other channel, that thing's in overtime. Those 2 teams are fighting through injuries, giving it their all. Man, the NBA, if the NBA didn't have these world markets,
trouble.
They'd be in trouble. That's the truth. As we continue with more after this. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis. That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York. Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Like our 2026 football ball, score a T3 TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times, 80 proof of vodka, delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3 TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's premium vodka, T3, Tennessee's premium vodka, distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
The great Jennifer Morris bringing it to the table. She's presented John Adams all day long, whether she's wanted to or not, which is generally how it goes on here. I will bow thy head when William Pattison hits the airwaves here momentarily. We're going to continue whatever it is this as we do over here. But in the meantime, I want to shout out Matt Dixon today for his yeoman's work over at tclub.team. Check out his blog, his thoughts on Tennessee's draw. You're going to want to do that. I've got some interesting little gambling nuggies that I drew up or found, and we'll do some overtime as well. It's all ahead with you. In the meantime, hit it, William.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
And as I was saying, I've got some gambling nuggies that I want to share, and then we'll go to the phones, or we'll go to the phones, then we'll share some of these gambling nuggies. But it should be pointed out that Tennessee this year is way on down the charts in terms of just the odds. Hey, Matt, here's one for you. And this is something that we don't know, because when you build your team in the portal now, but Georgia Tech's got some returning guys as well. I was really impressed with their manager, that young coach who played ball at Florida State. Boy, he really presents himself well. Georgia Tech has the second best odds to win the World Championship of college baseball, John. They have not won a regional in 20 years. Matt, how can that be? And would you trust a team that's gone that long without winning, Matt? Or for a program, rather?
Well, we just saw Indiana do it in football, and they had literally never been on the stage. That is a thing. I just don't know how much that history and those things matter now in this this era where you have so much roster turnover and you don't have guys that are like 3 or 4 year players. Now, granted, like you said, Georgia Tech has a couple, but that is a hurdle that this team will have to cross. But just the way that I've watched them play and just the way they are in the dugout, I don't think that's an issue for this team. but it is stunning that they've been irrelevant in college baseball for 20 years. Tennessee, one of Tennessee's teams
went down there,
won a super regional down there, beat them 2 games. In 05, that Hochevar team that went to Omaha, they won the super regional at Georgia Tech, and that was probably Tech's last great team until this year.
I think that was the last time Tech won a series, Matt, is what I read.
Tech,
which is
they've
crazy.
only been to 3 College World Series appearances all time:
Wow.
1994, 2002, and 2006.
That doesn't seem possible. That doesn't seem possible.
Why is that so surprising to you?
Because
they've never won the whole thing.
There's so many great players in Atlanta. There's and all those showcase tournaments that take place down there. And they've got a very young, bright coach. You can see how they're winning now. This kid was a really good player in his day at Florida State. And, man, he presents himself really well. I'm buying them. Tennessee has a series win over Texas. John, who has the 4th best odds in this thing. The Horns are plus 750. Are you buying, selling, or trading that Texas team, John? There's something about them I don't trust.
I think it's because you watched them lose to Tennessee in a series.
Fair enough.
They've got a power-packed lineup.
Yeah.
An ace pitcher. They seem to have depth, some pitching depth, but there's
something about them.
They've never, their last natty was in 2005.
How many national titles has Texas won?
They've won a whole bunch, but their last one was not in the modern era much.
For like 5 or 6, probably.
What has Texas won
in
anything since 2005?
Their EWOD gave me a crazy number on them. I want to unpack Texas in the summer. Are they myth, legend, or reality? There's something. That football program, the reputation they have and what we think about Texas and what they really are, man, you got to be kidding me. Let's go back to our phones. 865-200-5402 if you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us. We'll go through some of these, some more of these numbers. Hi, you're on the air. Welcome in.
I said it's great to be a fair get Harriman. Hey, Tone, what's that? It's Boy Billy from Harriman, baby.
Well, Boy Billy from Harriman, aren't you supposed to be cheering for Harriman? What's Harriman's team nickname? Like the Broom Dusters or something? What are they?
Blue Devils, baby.
There you go.
Hey, Tone, I got to give a shout out to my Admirals, their alma mater. 5 straight TSS 2A state titles in baseball. And in those tournaments, Tone, 20-0. They don't even know what a loser bracket tastes like, man.
Well, Bino's club didn't help by not throwing their ace out there in game 1. No offense to Bino.
Hey, coaching decision, man. You got to make better ones.
Boy, Billy, did you go down?
Nah, man, I had my procedure, man, and I'm still recovering, and I got to get back to it, man. Just shout out to my boy Titans Bill, all the Queens men, incredible show. Catch y'all later.
865-200-5402. So a shout out to Titans Bill and all the Queens men. A show that Titans Bill touts on Black Entertainment Television. Kyle Blackburn, who happens to be African American, had an interface on here with Titans Bill last week where Titans Bill was going through the roster of shows. And at one point, Kyle Blackburn stopped him and said, hey, Bill, I haven't watched BET since I quit playing music videos, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Good, man. Jason from Georgia.
Hey, Jason. Good to hear your voice.
Hey, man, good to talk to you. I wanted to make a submission for a song for our bullpen, Burning Down the House, Talking Heads.
That's so good. Paramore does a really cool cover of that. Haley Williams kind of owns that tune. That is a great submission because when that bullpen, when they make that call down there, here.
Yeah, they're saying, get the gasoline
Get the
out.
gas.
Get the gas can.
Yeah, get the gas can because that is what these guys are. They're gas cans.
Gas cans, arsonists,
Yes,
matchsticks, pyros, napalm.
You know,
name it.
And the truth about the sport is, there's nothing worse than watching a bad bullpen. Like one of David Ackworth's things that he harps on are all the walks. The walks are so tedious, John. Watching all those walks, it's just like,
well, when somebody, the
stop.
home runs are coming.
Yeah,
you just think, well, maybe there won't be anybody on base. How about Apocalypse Now for the bullpen?
That's very good. Apocalypse Now.
Robert Duvall with napalm in the
Yep.
morning.
So much
It's
great
tough to
cinema in
watch.
the 70s.
I mean,
it's impossible to watch, actually. I don't know how Matt sat through all of it.
He just leave the room.
I mean, no offense to Matt, but how do you do that?
Listen, I was at the Georgia game when Krenzel came in.
Yep.
It was the Sunday game?
Oh, and the
It was
rain in
raining
the
whole
Sunday game. Middle innings. We had the lead. We're about to win the series. Yeah.
Like a 5-run
Blanco
lead
was
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was brutal. And then the Rob home run, we left that game. It was miserable. But I mean, we were sitting right on top of Georgia's dugout, and you could hear a pin drop the entire game. They were beat. They knew it. And then when they got into the bullpen, I mean, because Blanco was on. That was probably the best game he's pitched all year. And man, to give it up like that was just tough to watch.
You know what's interesting? I would like to think that our manager now, Matt, would have gone out there and gotten him. He would not let him sit there. He coaches differently now. In the UCLA game, he had a pretty long leash in the middle innings with somebody, and it cost him the UCLA game. They're going to lose UCLA anyway, but it didn't help when you leave somebody in there to kind of take one in the middle innings. Matt, I think he's done with that. I think he goes and gets them now. What do you think?
Well, he certainly would at this point in the year. And in the postseason, you have to have the short leash with relievers. But yeah, I think he probably would. But granted, that Krenzel had been really good up until that point. Granted, non-conference games, but he was kind of going to be one of your key bullpen guys, and that's what you put him in there for. It just blew up on him, and he's never mentally recovered from that, which is a real shame.
Tony, question for you. Do you think that Elander has his feet underneath him now at this stage of the year versus when he kind of first started the season? I mean, does he
not even close?
Has he righted the ship?
Not even close. Yes, not even close.
Yeah.
This is his program now. That's why it's going to be a really interesting offseason because he was shotgun married to this pitching coach. Is that something that, is he going to make a change? Some people around it seem to think that he's going to, that really know some of these folks and follow the inner workings, but that doesn't mean he will. Like Matt said, it's one thing to talk about making a change, John. We've seen that. It's another thing to have the stomach to call somebody in and tell them they're done. And that is the difference from being in that chair over there to that chair over there. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. But the one thing that always has to be in a coach's mind, always in making decisions, what's best for the program, not what's best for a player or somebody on your staff. You got to think about the program.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's what he'll do. I'm just saying that has to be the overriding factor.
I sense he's really grown. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, real quick before I head out, I just saw where Jason Williams said on a Barstool interview that he will never step foot on Gainesville, on Florida's campus in Gainesville ever again unless his daughter is playing there. How about that? Y'all have a good day. See you.
865-200-5402.
Do you think anybody from Florida cares?
It's a real big loss.
He played like 15 games there and got thrown out. Kicked off.
I mean,
it's not like
it's a shame because in a lot of ways, he's kind of very emblematic and represents what the Florida fan base is.
I love this show.
Can you imagine? I mean, it's a wonder that Florida didn't pay in their heyday in football. They should have paid Jason Williams to go to football games and rev up the crowd.
Billy Donovan used to bring him back all the time to talk to his teams. That in that article it says Billy would, even though he got thrown off for rampant drug use, Billy would bring him back during his tenure. Hello and welcome. I love Florida. Always have.
That was kind of a high risk move.
I would say.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony. Hey, guys.
Hey, Greg. Welcome in, buddy.
You guys doing good today?
Brother, it's great. Good to hear from you, man.
Hey, I've been busy, but anyway, we've been dodging rain for about a week and a half.
Yeah,
damn day.
We've needed it, but not this much, right? We needed it, but now we get the point, you know?
Hey, about the balls, man. Baseball, you play for where you're at now. Postseason is what you play for. You try to get better every game. I'm not saying they've gotten things nailed out of getting better every game, but they've squeaked through the year and made the leap into the postseason is what every coach is looking for, that opportunity. But, pitching is going to be the big deal, guys. And I'm not sure where they go after the first two. I was watching the deal yesterday, and
I don't think they're sure.
They just can draw names out of a hat when they get to game 3.
Yeah, Berkey
you
man
really
was
could do
talking
that.
About,
yeah,
he thought Blanco should be the first pitcher, and Kuhn should be second.
Do you agree, Greg, with that? I disagree. I want to win game 1.
You got to win game 1. I think I'd swap that around. Even what's the freshman's name that did so well with 15 Ks?
Appenzeller?
Appenzeller, yeah.
If you really want to think globally on that series, it might not be a bad risk to throw him out there Friday night. Because then you could beat North Carolina. You could beat them twice. Then you throw your ace at them, and you throw Blanco at them.
Well, I just
if you want to think winners bracket,
that's to me. If you're trying to win the regional, you don't start Kuhns in the opener.
I understand what you guys are saying. Obviously he's your best option. My thing is, you get into that loser bracket and you're done. But the problem with Tennessee is, and this is why you guys are right, you're kind of done either way.
Yes.
And so
yes.
That's kind of it's almost like looking at a chessboard and going, okay, where's my move? If I move here, and that's why Matt gives these guys like a 10% chance. There's always a chance that your opponent in chess is going to do something that you don't foresee, which upends the board, and you have a path to victory.
Do you think if you pitch Kuhns in the opener and he goes 7 innings, you need to get 7 innings out of him with that bullpen?
Yes.
Could you come back in the final game and pitch him an inning in relief?
Sure. All hands on deck.
They did that with Liam Doyle last year.
Yeah, I know, but Liam Doyle was
a maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he pitched the Friday and then came back on Monday. So that would be the deal. You could do that with Blanco if you absolutely have to. Yeah. Or whoever you start Friday. I mean,
I'm gonna tell you guys, we need some guys out there that's gonna act like Doyle. I mean, they need to have the attitude that they're going to win this game, you're not going to get on base, whatever the case may be. And the hitters, they just didn't look aggressive, didn't look that monster feel at the plate. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't look that way.
No.
We've seen them in the past.
Well, you know, from all the baseball you call, I mean, it's a sport of, if you don't believe you're going to do it in that sport, you got no chance on either side of the plate, and even on defense. I mean, you got to believe in it.
Well, attitude matters, and I think you
Yeah.
go back to that Texas series. Tennessee won that series because of Coons.
Yeah.
That first game, it wasn't just how well he pitched, it was the confidence and how animated he was and how fiery. It was Liam Doyle-like. I think that really matters in college baseball. So that, to me, maybe that's but gosh, think about it. If you could start Blanco and win game one, and then you got Coons coming in for game two.
Yeah.
That would be an optimal situation for Tennessee.
I guess the other thing to consider, and this is right, Marvansky, it's a noon start on Friday, which is another reason why you could kind of play around with, if you start Coons, you could use them later on as you get down the line in that series. It actually happens quicker.
How about this scenario?
Yeah.
You're pitching
Or earlier.
Coons, he's dominant, and you jump out and you're leading 8-0.
Get him out. Right?
It depends on what inning it is. What if you're leading 8-0 after 4 innings? Would you take him out of the game and leave it up to the bullpen?
If I got up on North Carolina like that, I would think about it, because then I could use him again.
Well,
in game 3.
No, but I'm talking about in game 1 against East Carolina.
Matt, how about you? You pulling? What's the lead got to be, Matt, for you? If you're in the middle innings.
I would be the opposite. I would try to use him the entire game. I'd extend him to try to save whatever bullpen arms you have.
But see, my counterpoint to that, Matt, is that it doesn't matter
again
how
back
rested
to that.
they are.
No, we're back to that. Yeah. These guys, look, there's a reason there's a huge number next to Tennessee's name for winning it all. And last year they went into the tournament, which I forgot, with I think the third best odds of anybody in the entire deal.
Well, yeah, I would give Tennessee a better shot in a super regional than a regional.
Amen.
Hey, guys, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Talking about the hitters at the plate and how they approach their at-bat at the particular time they're there. I was checking out stuff the other day on TV, and I saw the Georgia Tech coach talking about his big hitter and talked about how he shortened up, got on base with hits instead of trying to bust it out of the park.
Yep.
And that helped their team win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we've never had a guy do that. Everybody I've seen swing, taking full swings, trying to bust it out of there. Sometimes you got to think about the guys, the team, not just me. And I want to see more of that.
I think we did it in the Oklahoma series as a team. We shortened swings and hit the ball the opposite way.
I may be wrong. It seems like I remember Blake Burke one time doing that, shortening his swing.
Yes.
He was a great power hitter.
Yes.
But you're so right.
He did in 24. He did that really, really well.
That's how I remembered it. But yeah, you're right, Greg. It's
becoming a hitter.
I would like to see more. I would like to see more of that in college baseball. If you get 2 strikes on you, shorten your swing. Try to put it in play, because things happen in these college baseball games.
Hey, as I make my way out, Tony, I wanted to ask you, brother, since you play music a lot.
Yep.
Have you run across the Henley Street Country Club Band?
Oh, the Hindley Street, the folks from Australia that do all those great covers. Those people are incredible, man.
Hey, I just ran across them a couple of days ago.
Awesome, dude. Awesome.
That's the best cover band I've ever seen.
They're beautiful. I mean, the money they have and the productions they have. If you want to look something up, look up Hindley, Hindley Street country club is what they call themselves. They play, they tour and play across the world. They're singers and their harmonies, and those are, let me tell you something about Australia. It's incredible talent in that country musically. And if you look at some of the stuff that's come out of there that's been imported to our shores, I mean, it's just amazing. But yeah, they're incredible. Mega props to them, as we say in the trade. Thank you.
Guys, have a good rest of your week, man.
Greg,
Go Vols.
Greg, you're the man. Go Vols to you. Brian, you shouted Greg out yesterday, right?
Yeah, about the kid who called us playing, I guess, familiar with some JUCO baseball.
Yep. And you asked me if he ever ran across
maybe Greg
called
one of his
Columbia.
games.
Brian asked me if he ever ran across Greg in Columbia, which I thought was a
good question.
Great question of the young man. Let me ask you a question. Just got this text from a friend of mine. He said, Tony, this is between us now. He says, but you're using the term Native American on today's show is a lot less offensive than you using the term Chinese fire drill with Bino on Friday. I use the term Chinese fire drill. Do you remember that term? That was part of our lexicon?
Oh, yeah. And see,
is that offensive? Do you think that's offensive?
Well, I'm not easily offended. So nothing bothers me, really.
Matt, does that offend you? Which one's worse, Matt? Native American or Chinese fire drill, Matt, if you had to choose one?
I think either one of them's fine.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with either of them.
Wait, listen. When I was a kid and LSU had a national championship football team in 1958, they had 3 teams. That was when you went both ways, and they had the white team. That was the starting team. They played offensive. Then you had the go team, which played offense, and then you had the Chinese bandits, which just played defense. And they had those little, what do you call those hats that the Chinese wore when they were?
I call them Chinese hats. I don't know.
Well, okay, but
like I'm
cultured. They were called the Chinese bandits. I mean, how can you imagine if somebody in today's world, if you refer to your defense as Chinese bandits?
Back to to me, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, were there a lot of bandits among the Chinese people? I've never heard of that.
Historically speaking, let's go to the phones. Get our next call in. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony.
Hey,
Miller.
Hey, Miller. Welcome in.
Tennessee baseball. If I were them, I would start the freshman the first game.
Appenzeller.
Yes, I would start him.
And give yourself a shot in the series. Yep.
If you lose, you got Coons to pitch the game that you got to win. If he wins, you got Coons to put you you win the winner's bracket. And if Appenzeller can't pitch well enough, they're not going to go anywhere anyway.
What about Arvidsson?
Either one of them, but somebody has to win a game besides the 2 guys that usually win.
Yeah, that's why I say don't start Coons in the opener.
Matt, what do you think? What the whole concept of Appenzeller in the opener, who was, by the way, pretty good at times when they let him start.
He was good against South Carolina in that SEC tournament game. I think he's going to be their third starter if they play a third game. I'm just not sure you can throw him out there in game 1 of a regional without kind of knowing what you're going to get. Because what if he, did what he did the back half of the league schedule and he kind of blows up in the second inning on you or third inning? Yeah, even if you were to come back and win that game, you've burned your entire bullpen just to get through one game. And I just don't think he's been good enough, consistently enough, especially in the extended innings to risk throwing him game 1 against a team like East Carolina.
Well, I understand maybe that, or to me, the problem with him is mental. He
he looks so uncomfortable out there at times, like he can't get his motion right. And I think it's got in his head. But somebody has to win a game. As far as burning out the bullpen, what does it matter with them? It doesn't matter if they're rested or if they pitch 5 days in a row. You don't have anybody out there that you can count on. And so your starting pitching is going to have to carry you if you're going to win this.
It would really help if their third starter was if he didn't have a tired arm.
Yeah. The one thing about this region, I will say, North Carolina perennially underachieves.
Yes, they do.
That's their history. The ACC perennially is overrated in baseball. And they've got good teams on paper, but like you mentioned Georgia Tech earlier, with all the talent they've had, and to be no better than that, Clemson's had good teams that haven't done anything when it mattered. Carolina, probably the one that's done the best, been NC State through the years. But I give Tennessee a chance because of that. But watch East Carolina's good. They're as good a mid-major as you're going to find.
The number is this. Carolina's been there 38 times, and they've only been to 12 College World Series, and they've never won one, to Miller's point. And the Vols, one more time, have been to the NCAA tournament 16 times, and they've had 6 trips to Omaha. Some fan bases that love the sport have to look at us and go, how do you do that?
How about this?
I think the ACC only can brag about 2 programs that have won a national championship as ACC schools, and Virginia won one in 2015. Wake Forest won one in like 1955, and that's it.
Wow, that's crazy, Brian.
Would you take if you
Miami won theirs when they weren't in the ACC,
Independent.
so they don't really count.
Yep. Yeah. Or Big East. They were an old Big East team.
Yeah. Would you
about Florida State? Did they win any?
No, they've never won one.
That's the big thing. As
Nope.
good as they've been, would you take in this
Clemson's
region?
Clemson's never won any.
Would you take the field against North Carolina if you were betting? Would you take
Hell
the field?
yes. I would take the field against North Carolina or UCLA. How about those apples? The top 2 seeds.
I would take. I don't really know who's in UCLA's bracket.
And I would throw Georgia Tech in there too. I would take your 3 or top 4 seeds
And
and
you
throw
take
them out.
the field.
Yes.
Nebraska's another one I would take the field. I like Ole Miss coming out of that bracket.
Interesting.
One other thing, Texas. Texas is a myth. With all the talent you got down there, all the money they got,
yep,
and they're a myth
in all the sports. Ewad gave me the craziest number. They might be the most overrated program in the history of the world. Part 1, 2, and 3, Mel Brooks. How about this? From 2012 through 2022, Texas went a combined 60 and 61 in Big 12 play in football. 60 and 61. Texas hasn't won a national championship since
2005.
I mean, what in the hell are we doing?
They've got in football. That's what, when you think about it, they had Darrell Royal, who was a great coach. Mac Brown was a really good coach. But they've made some really bad hires in that sport.
They have.
The Texas starters,
Tom Herman,
went 17 and 10 in the Big 12 under Steve Sarkisian that are still on their roster. I mean, what do we do? Like,
but you look at it now, on paper, Texas is the team in SEC football for 26. I would favor Texas.
I would sell them, like Miller's saying, all day, every day, twice on Sunday. And it's ironic, Miller, that Arch Manning is their quarterback because he's totally overrated, just like they're totally overrated.
Yes. Yes, I would not take Texas to win it. The SEC. I don't know who I would take, but it wouldn't be Texas. But they've probably been better in baseball than any sport.
Yep.
But even that, the best I can remember, going back to their glory days, you're going back to when Roger Clemens' kids were playing, and they're in the major leagues now. You're probably 10 years, and really glory, you're going back to when Clemens played out there.
What, Miller, why, help me out then, why in my brain do I think it's, Matt and I were talking this off the air the other day, why do I think it's super, super, super cool that Texas is playing in Neyland Stadium for the first time when we've just established in the last 20 years that they're a rumor.
But they
what
have,
is it about it?
They have an image. And I think in football,
yeah,
if you take the whole, don't just look at the Longhorns, look at that state, because I lived there for 3 years and covered high school football games there back in the 70s. And there's so much football talent in that state, and football means so much in Texas. I mean, if you play a really good quarterback coming out of Texas, I usually favor them in the next step because of the competition they usually face. I just think that's part of it. I mean, look at it. You had Friday Night Lights. There's so much. Texas football is just a big deal. But you're right. The University of Texas hasn't lived up to that.
They're a stone cold rumor.
No, none of those colleges out there have lived up to that. I mean, when has TCU and SMU and Baylor, when have they ever been consistently great? Or Houston?
Yeah.
No.
See, that is a mystery right there in itself.
How they don't win it all the time.
Houston, if you could get just the best players every year in the Houston Metroplex, you would have one of the most talented rosters in the country.
You would think.
Yeah. That is.
It's a really interesting thing to focus on Texas and go, okay, are they more myth or are they more fact? And I'm leaning toward myth.
I think you have to lean that way. Wouldn't it be something if Texas Tech won a championship before Texas in football? You know,
I think they will.
Post 205.
Hey, what was that, guys? I haven't asked you about this. What's leading Texas's coach now to pick fights with all these schools around him? And he's either doing drinking again. I mean, I'm supposed to say it out loud, which is not good.
Well, I wondered about that.
Or he's really insecure about, and this does pertain to us. So some of you goofs that want to talk about the Vols 24/7, this does pertain to us. I wonder if he's worried about the roster that they have this year because he picked a fight with Ole Miss 1 week. Then he goes, and now all of a sudden it's, well, Texas Tech, and they do this and they do that. I mean,
please. Yeah, when a coach starts talking, when any football coach starts talking about, particularly in the SEC, their tough academic standards, come on.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and you know what? If I were an Ole Miss fan, I'd feel great about my program right now. You got Lane Kiffin taking shots at you, Steve Sarkisian taking shots at you, Dabo Sweeney taking shots at you.
You got to feel good about yourself,
yeah,
right?
You're doing something right when that's happening.
Well, they got him a convict there for the head coach. He doesn't care to evidently break some rules, so he'll be perfect.
Pete Golding, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
And
that's
as
how
far
I
as
roll.
recruiting goes.
Well, but it's ludicrous when when Dabo Sweeney's talking about some coach tampering.
And
Give me a break.
And then Sarkisian's talking about academic. It's easy to get in there. Get in where? These schools.
Dabo's worried.
These schools now have the.
Oh, they've got these online courses. Who knows?
These are community colleges now. What are we doing? I mean, come on.
When was the last time somebody flunked out of an SEC program?
Or flunked a drug test.
So don't tell me about Ole Miss and basket weaving. They're all got basket
When's
weaving.
the last time somebody flunked a urine test? Anybody want to let me know on that, a drug test?
Jason Williams.
Thank you. Miller, you're the man. Thank you.
Hey, later, brother.
See you, brother. Back to our phones we go. Let's get our next call in on a John Adams Tuesday.
Hello.
You're on the air. Welcome in.
What's up, Tony? John Adams.
How are you
doing?
doing?
A long time. Oh, I am very, very good, man. Great conversation, guys. So always good to get on here. Tony, I got one more song for you for our bullpen.
Hit it.
All right. Since we're in the backdrop of Neyland or Knoxville is the mountains, how about a little bit of Fire on the Mountain from Marshall Tucker Band?
That's excellent.
They could play that when the guys walk into the mound.
Richard, when you think about what you would do with that pitching staff this weekend, there are answers, but it's almost like none of them are right answers. Because when you don't have anybody in your bullpen you can call on to get you outs, or you have 1.5 arms, yeah, we got, Houston, we got a problem here. We got a problem.
Well, saying that's why, when you ask the question, has this season been a success? Yes. It has to me, because when you look at the season, how it played out, yes, we have a lot of talented players. We got guys on the MLB future list and this and that when you look at it. But two key players who were supposed to be difference makers for us out of that bullpen was Krenzel and Frederick. Neither one of those guys played to what they were supposed to play as being really good bullpen arms for us. Had they played up to what people consider their talent and what they can do, because they both have good arms, it's just mentally they just give in too much. I don't know why. Not in their head, but if those two guys play up to the level that they were predicted to pitch this year out of that bullpen, Tony, we're top 8 seed.
Oh, no question.
Period.
And like Matt said, how many 5-run leads? Which I forgot that, John, on that Sunday, Tennessee blew a 5-run lead on a Sunday afternoon game. On a low-scoring Sunday. It wasn't like it was one of those crazy Sunday afternoon games you see. It was a Sunday afternoon game with the rain coming down in the middle innings. You had that game on lockdown.
The rain could put out the bullpen fire.
No, even our fires are impervious to water.
I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah.
We lost one at Georgia. We lost one against LSU at home. We should have lost.
Yes.
And then the 3 we lost at Vanderbilt.
Good gosh, if you just win 3 of those 5,
you're hosting. Easy. Probably hosting twice to his point.
So, and then it's on, because here's how I look at college baseball this year. When I like I said, I haven't watched UCLA. I followed them a little bit. I can't, I know they're the overwhelming favorite coming in, I guess, because they've started from the very beginning and have finished number 1. They play in the Big Ten. We'll see how it plays out. Does it really hurt them when it gets into tournament time without being pushed in a conference? I don't know. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
But what I see, Tony, I don't see any great teams like the LSUs and the Tennessees of the last couple of years and some other teams. I don't see anybody like that going to this tournament. I see it as a crapshoot, and there's a lot of good teams that could get hot and win the thing.
That, Richard, that's right. If Tennessee just had one lights out bullpen guy, just one.
Yeah.
Somebody said Krenzel's walkout song ought to be 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Well, hey, John said it best earlier. I heard you, John. The kid has $1 million arm.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
But he has a $2 head, and man, one pit, in that South Carolina outing, you're sitting there going, wow, that first time he come in, he's making beautiful. His breaking balls got hard bite. He's got guys chasing all over the place. You're like, where's this guy been? And then the next inning comes out, and it's like, boom.
Hey, and when that first guy hits that ball out, that second one, Richard, after he walks that next guy, that is going to be, to Matt's point. Hey, Matt, he doesn't just give up that second home run. It looks like literally somebody launched it with like a rocket launch.
Yeah, their home run derby, tape measure guy.
Poor guy. That second one was like 600 feet.
when
Cover
you
came off
put it
on
up there on a tee, and now give credit. Hey, give credit to the teams we played, whether it was Frederick or Krenzel or even like you said, Bo Rudy or all these guys that got up there and they put it on the tee for these guys to hit moonshots, but the guys on these other teams sure didn't miss.
Yeah, that's a good point, because a lot of times, in a way, you could say it puts pressure on the guy. Man, I'm supposed to just rip the ball off these guys. It puts more pressure. It puts more pressure.
Here comes that Krenzel guy. This guy's his dugout's yelling batting practice. Batting practice.
Yeah, if you don't hit a home run, you feel like you failed.
Hey, well, there you go. It's kind of like that movie. Oh, what was the kid who ended up pitching for Chicago Cubs because his arm got all cranky when he fell and he had this great, but then he lost it. And then the last pitch, he throws an underhanded pitch, and the guy's got his tongue out, thinking he's going to mash it, and he strikes out. I forget the name.
Struck him out with the
baseball
ephus.
movie.
Richard, thank you. That's a great call, and it's fun. And the truth is with these guys is, unless they can come up with some other solutions, rookie of the year is what Richard's talking about. But somebody tells me the crazy thing about the Krenzel guy, Matt, is that a guy like him, if it doesn't work out here, somebody's going to give him an opportunity and pay him.
Sure.
Because he's got a really good arm. And everybody thinks, I can fix that guy.
And
everybody
who knows?
thinks it. And maybe
they
you can.
might.
Yeah.
They might.
Yeah. Imagine, Matt, if he joined the party, what that would mean for us this year. If he just woke up.
Well, we talked about it. If he had been what they thought he'd be, or even close to it, you're probably hosting this weekend because you don't blow those big leads. But yeah, I mean, maybe he does wake up here in the postseason. You get out of league play, kind of a chance to reset. I mean, maybe it happens for him or somebody else, or one of the freshmen step up. You're going to need that to get out of this thing, unless you just 1 through 9, your lineup just goes crazy. But yeah, it's. You'd like for something good to happen to him. It's like literally every time out, even in some of the midweeks, he's had struggles.
I hate it.
He might end up making a lot of money pitching in
No question. He's got great stuff,
he really
John.
does. But the way he's going now, if he came in and struck out the first 2 batters, wouldn't you be tempted to pull him right then? So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
To me,
he might just need a reset, and that includes being on a different team next year.
Like our field goal
to the
kicker.
point where he almost needs. It's like it could be better for both parties if he transfers and goes somewhere else, because he's just not comfortable pitching here right now.
Matt, like our kicker last year when he missed.
Same thing.
Same thing. Except that's in a bigger scale, because you got all those fans and all that social media. I can't imagine how tough it would have been to be that kid last year.
Well,
but that's what you sign up for.
Yeah, if you're going to be a college kicker.
But Jolie Fowler says, I wonder if Krenzel's tipping his pitches. It's not a bad thought.
Surely they've looked at that. They have.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because his splits to right-handers make no sense with the stuff he has. His just everything about him makes no sense when you watch him pitch. You go, this guy has to be very good. When you watch him, and I mean, he sucks. He's awful. No offense to the guy. Didn't he pitch?
No offense.
Didn't he pitch a clean inning the other day and they sent him back out there, to John's point?
Yeah, and that against South Carolina, they were trying to eat some innings there, and he gave up 3 in the next one.
Yeah, he ain't your guy to eat innings. He took what was going to be a run rule game and turned it into a close game. This freaking guy.
Would you be afraid to use him in the tournament?
Oh, I wouldn't use him
unless you have a big lead,
or a big
how big though? How big?
Or if I'm down by 6 runs. If I'm down 6 runs, right, Matt? Either I'm up 8 or down 6. That's when he pitches.
You'd want an 8-run lead before you put him in.
Yes, because you're
Yeah.
giving up 3
Yeah.
runs. Yeah.
I mean, like if you're down in North Carolina, like 6-1 on Saturday in like the 6th inning or something,
Put him in.
like that's a spot I could see him going in.
Well, we talked about this last week. Is that I don't guess anything's changed going into the tournament. Starting at the top, who do you feel the best about? Is it which relief pitcher?
I think it's Arvidsson and Rudy are the two, because I kind of view Appenzeller as a starter right now, as their third starter.
Well, see, what about starting Arvidsson in that game 1?
A lot of people suggested that, but he hadn't started.
I thought
he started that Vandy game, and that was it when they gave Coons
that's
out
right.
of the pen. That was the only time. That's why I think they started Appenzeller against South Carolina, was to try to stretch him out a little bit and see if he could be a starter here in the postseason. That was with or without Mac, I think. But
when you've got a tired arm, if you sleep more, does that help you?
We're in an era now where, well, I don't know. Basilio's beak said back to the Georgia game, the kicker misses the kick against Georgia by 50 yards, and we're starting our light show. He said, you got to love this place. They couldn't wait to fire off the light show. He said the kick didn't even hit the screen. It wasn't even like in the screen. That's the other thing about that field goal kicker, and it's a reason why he belonged in that bullpen. His body language when he would walk out there, when they showed him, Matt, over there by the kicking net, when they called that timeout, which was very strange game management, by the way, but whatever. If you want to ice your own kicker, go for it. When they showed him, and you go back and look at that, he looked like he wanted to go.
His eyes were so big. He just looked so. It looked so uncomfortable.
So sad.
But
I've been there, man. I've been on a stage and thought to myself, I don't know this song, but here we go. Count it off, Kev. Here we go. And you're just like, okay, this ain't gonna be pretty. I don't know what I'm doing here.
But in your band, you got other people there, so if you just didn't do anything,
that's
it could
right.
still work out.
That's right.
With the kicker, it's all on
no
him.
chance.
And I think another thing that contributes to the lack of confidence when you see him, he looks like he's maybe 12 years old.
Yeah,
he's just very young looking for his age, which will serve him well when he gets older.
To our phones we go. But yeah, Krenzel, I feel sorry for him. That kicker, I feel his pain. I mean, just the whole thing. So somebody said that they went to the Mississippi State game and he was kicking into the practice net on the sidelines, and he tripped over the tee and fell into the kicker net.
No, that's somebody's making.
That's the big dog in West Tennessee.
He's making that up.
No, the big dog in West Tennessee. But when they showed him, and those big old bug eyes came out, and he looked like a 14-year-old kid with his hand caught in the cookie jar. I thought to myself, this guy has, you watch those games, John, and you say to yourself, this guy's got zero chance of making this kick.
Yeah.
He was in the zero. I mean, he looked like, please don't call my name.
Who was that kicker when Tennessee was playing? It was either UAB or South Alabama, this guy that missed 5 field goals. Man, you probably remember that.
They kept calling his number too, John. They kept putting him out there.
Some of them were really long field goals, though, but he just missed everything. So what was that again that he said the kicker did? You just read it. Repeat that.
He was lining up to kick. He was warming up before the game, and he slid on the grass. And he fell and tumbled into his net. He fell over his tee and tumbled into the net. Matt, do you choose to believe that or no?
I'm ready. Put me in, Coach.
Do you choose to believe that, Matt, or not?
I'm going to choose to believe it. I'm going to have to go back at some point and see if he's got grass stains on his pants now.
Let's go back to the phones.
What would be the equivalent of that in Tennessee's bullpen?
Everything. How about the game against?
No, I mean tripping. If like they, I know
you trip when you come out of the gate and you're coming to the mound. You just trip.
I mean, this could be. I'll tell you one thing about Tennessee. Hey, Brian Hartman, with this bullpen we have, they are must-see TV. When he comes out there and does either this or does that, it doesn't matter what arm he's doing. He ought to do a thing where he just kind of does like signals where he just starts going like yes, just confused. Because like that thing Tony Vitello did where the bullpen catcher's down there going, Jesse Chavez, he's going, or the bullpen coach, you want right or left, Tony? Tony's like, I don't give a damn. Just give me a pitcher.
What if you had? How about this? If you turn
the natural gas lady could come back and sponsor this bullpen
presented by natural gas. That's very good. They
bring in the gas cans.
How about if you turn to your bullpen and you have the relief pitchers all race to the mound, and whoever gets there first gets the ball.
XF, like an XFL thing.
Yeah.
The original XFL, Vince McMahon's idea for the kickoff was we're not going to flip a coin. Do you remember what they did?
No.
They put one player to 20 and one player to 20, and they put the ball down. And the first thing they did, a guy separated his shoulder and they quit doing it. But the idea was the guy that wins the scrum your team gets the ball. And they would go out there and run headlong into each other. It's the most idiotic thing I've ever seen. And Jesse Ventura's up there going, this is real football. This is real football. This is the XFL. This is real football. The dumbest thing I've ever seen. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Can we get video of that Tennessee kicker on that?
Yeah, we got to try.
Alleged incident.
Hi,
I'm
welcome
sorry.
in. You're on the air.
I do miss the XFL, Tony. Bobby, boys, thanks for being there. Yeah, the XFL was fun. That was pure. He hate me, man. Rob Smart, right? Rod Smart, something like that. Those are the days. Tony, serious question to the panel because I don't know. Are they worried about running Landon Mack out because he has a tired arm for multiple innings? You know, we suck in the bullpen with righties. I mean, if he could get an inning or two, would that be worth it? If he's not going to pitch a long game,
well,
he could maybe do that.
I guess if you have a tired arm, you just can't pitch. But that's a pretty long.
Satchel Paige just entered the chat.
What?
I said Satchel Paige just entered the chat. I mean, it's like,
yeah. Well,
he pitched 9,000 innings in 2 years or something. I don't understand this.
Well, we can go back when you look at baseball from previous eras. It was not unusual for a starter to throw a complete game. It's unheard of now. I think there's you can build up to that, and it was expected back then to pitch that long. But now he maybe there's something seriously wrong with his arm and they just haven't diagnosed it.
Well, I remember the first time they pulled him from a game when he was cruising it was in the middle of the SEC season and he was cruising in an SEC game and they pulled him. I don't know if Matt's still there, but do you remember the excuse was he has diabetes and no one knew he had diabetes and his diabetes was acting up. Do you guys remember this excuse?
No, that's.
Yeah, I remember. And they were kind of looking at his forearm in the dugout too.
Right. And it was but there's the diabetes
stuff kind of first propped up. And then he pitched a few more starts and then they've kind of shut him down here last month.
I hadn't heard that.
So you have no inkling that he's going to pitch at all, huh?
I have no idea, but I think if he does pitch the role that you mentioned, kind of being a bullpen guy for an inning or two would probably be most likely because he's just not stretched out at all by this point. So I think if he does pitch, it would probably be in a relief role.
It's 3 weeks, right? 3.5 weeks now, guys, since he's pitched.
Well, I hope it's.
Well, it'll be by Friday. It will be 4 weeks. Yes,
4
sir.
weeks. That's
maybe it could have something to do with diabetes.
Who knows?
Well, I just wanted to suppose that question to everybody because I mean, if we can't have him out there for a long stay, well, then you're already committing to either Arvidsson or Appenzeller to pitch in the third starter role. So you need another bullpen arm because those are our two best bullpen arms at this time. And our righties are abysmal. I mean, Rudy is our best righty out of the bullpen, and he is trash. Like, I don't know if he would pitch for 14 other teams in the SEC at all. I don't even know if he'd be on their roster. That's how bad he is. So maybe Matt could give you an inning or two.
This poor bullpen.
But really, the one thing I see in Chapel Hill is that you can tank homers down there, and if you ever need your bats to get right, that's a stadium in which you can do it. And they don't put a lot of people in the stands, so Tennessee could end up having a home field advantage. I don't know. I'm trying to be positive, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. It's a cool place to watch baseball. I know that. It's a neat looking stadium.
Do you think tired arm could be contagious on a pitching staff?
No, but I do think that when you suck and one guy starts to pitch below his level, it's like hitting. That's the thing that's crazy about baseball. It's an individual sport, yet
teams
what you do becomes contagious.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a weird. Even major league teams do that. These guys will get really hot and they'll get hot together. The really good, very good major league teams that win will have a couple guys stay hot while the rest of them slump. Then these two guys carry you for a couple weeks. That's the art of the deal. You hope that that's kind of what happens for you. Hey, Matt, Brian, any final thoughts? Tomorrow we've got Watson Brown will join us on the Chow. We got Mike Monaco, who's calling the series for ESPN. He's going to join us on the Chow. And we've got
the big Texan.
The big Texan himself from D1 Baseball. Back again.
When are teams going to realize that signing James Harden is not the answer to push you over the top? He's not the missing piece.
He's a total loser, man. Look at him.
How many teams have to try that, go down that road and fail at it?
Hey Matt.
But he's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Sure he is. He's a total loser. But he scores points. See, that's the thing about the NBA. Why isn't winning valued in that sport? Winning. That's what should be valued in that sport. Are you a winning player? And let me tell you something about James Harden. He is to Brian's point, a total stone cold loser. And serious franchises. Brian, you think for 5 seconds the Boston Celtics would fool with a James Harden? A winning franchise, Brian? A serious franchise?
The Lakers would never have him there. The Knicks, who though I don't know if they've been serious all this time, but they are now. They wouldn't have him there.
No, they wouldn't have him there.
The Celtics wouldn't have him there.
Serious franchises.
The Bulls under Michael Jordan, we would never play there.
No way.
What teams has James Harden played for? That's really kind of a
James Harden started with Oklahoma City, and they were pretty good.
Was he with Miami for a while?
And no, but he was one of the guys that broke up the whole Oklahoma City experience when Durant got out of there. They had he was a young player then. They had a really nice team. And he was there with Westbrook and Harden.
And Westbrook, Harden, and Durant.
Yep. And Harden was a total loser in the playoffs.
Do you think of Russell Westbrook as a winner?
No, he's not a serious player either. I'm not sure Durant's a serious player, to be honest with you. The career he's had, no offense to him. He's a great player. Brian, what do you think of Durant? You call him a serious player? He's kind of a clown.
He toggles. Got his only title by piggybacking with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, he toggles. He toggles as to whether or not he's a serious player.
Are all three of those guys, they're all three in the Hall of Fame, aren't they?
Sure they are.
Yeah.
And that's what the thing about the Hall of Fame and NBA ball, it's like, okay, I mean, what does that even mean? Like, you score a lot of points. The other problem with the league right now, Brian, I'm talking about this series here, and this is just me now, okay? They got to figure out a way to get this out of their sport. This SGA guy, he he needs to come up. He doesn't need a shoe deal, Brian. He needs a flip-flop line, a line of flip-flops. I've never seen a guy flop around like a fish. He's like a Florida Marlins mascot, Brian. Like a fish out of water, the way he flops around on a basketball floor. Great player. You get anywhere near him, and he dives on the floor like, I mean, dude, are you a soccer player? It's ridiculous. And that right there, they ought to call him for that, and they'll start calling fouls on him.
Well, I think
they've gotten that out of the NHL. The NHL had divers, and they started calling these guys for embellishment. And guess what? When you start calling that, guess what the athletes don't do? They quit diving.
I think it's courageous, though, that he will dive on the floor. You could get hurt doing that.
That's a good point. Good point. And somebody says it here. There's a big difference between where my lanyard said there's a big difference between playing and competing. It's very true. NBA has a lot of guys who run up and down the floor, but very few of them are trying to really go all out and compete. That's a problem.
They need to figure out how to not have their fourth quarters. They need to quit having their fourth quarters not begin till after 11 o'clock p.m. They need to quicken their game like baseball's quicken their game.
That's another good point,
Because it takes
Brian.
2 hours to get from tip-off to the fourth quarter.
I know, but
and then it takes an hour to get the fourth quarter in.
But if it's 11 o'clock here, what time is it in China?
That's true, John. That's what they care
They've got
about.
a big audience
Huge.
there. Yeah.
It's a global game, no doubt about it. Boys, it's been fun. Oh my God, it's 2:03. What the hell am I doing with my life?
It's kind of sad.
John, that was fun. Thank you. Matt, thank you. Brian, thank you. Get fired up, focused, and prepared for tomorrow. It's going to be a big show. We're going to fire you up, focus you, and prepare you for Thursday. The Lady Vols on Thursday. Brian will have his Lady Vol report tomorrow over at tclub.team. We'll have some great stuff on this. Listen, I'm coming in a sense of appreciation tomorrow in the blog for the baseball team and what they've done. I know I sort of played the heel there about a month ago, but the truth is the truth, and the truth is it's pretty impressive these guys have gotten here, especially with that awful bullpen. Love you. Appreciate you. Peace. John, think about how bad that bullpen is, and they made the postseason. I mean, they're so bad. The poor kicker tripping down the grass. Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I wouldn't put anything past that poor kid. That poor kid's body language. You know, myself did a segment, and we did tips for callers. The great Matt Dixon, there's a tip for you. Check out his work over at tclub.team today. All right, TGMD, we got John Adams in here, presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. She's an absolute next level a lover. I was talking to the great Russell Smith, who holds it down in the afternoon here. And we were kind of comparing notes. You know, I come into this postseason with not a lot of expectation for this baseball team, but a sense of appreciation. I have a sense